Hey, what's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Business. My name is Jay. You know, my goal every Tuesday night is to bring you another trade show level business presentation to you wherever you are, because your automotive business deserves the latest in logistics news. And if you're busy, and I know you are, in a minute I'm going to give the welcome show lineup. If you're watching on demand, you're going to know what to expect. You can click ahead using the clickable video time codes in the video description below. Please do feel free to use those. Like, share, tell your friends, comment. Thanks for watching ATI. Dealers, brokers, carriers, dispatchers, consigners, shippers, owners, drivers, who can guess what will happen next if car shipping rates don't go up? But if less cars are being shipped, Jay, why would anybody want to pay more? Well, since expenses aren't going down, anybody want to guess how this all plays out? Will carrier pay from car shipper expectations ever meet the rate of inflation? Thompson is in the building. Plus, we have carriers calling in live. This is an interesting show. It's a unique opportunity to participate. Please do feel free. We'll give the invite link here in a minute, but stick around. So please join the live chat. Ask your questions. Share your thoughts. Grow your business. Break out of your vertical. It's 2023. Because it's Tuesday nights live on ATI Auto Business. I'm Jay, your host. Welcome back to the show. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in again on a Tuesday night, first Tuesday night of the year. Thank you so much. I know that there's already plenty going on in the media. Off to the races we are with what a bizarre thing to experience last night. If you're watching football, it's all over the headlines, and so real life is it's right around the corner all the time. And so that's where we're going to kick off this year on our show with real life stuff. So do me a favor, please do feel welcome. Jump in, say hello. Please do say, whatever is on your mind. If you're looking for something, if you want to share something, if you just want to say Happy New Year, because we weren't there together when your new year happens, so please do feel free. Say hello in the live chat. We're going to go into the live chat here in a few minutes and say hello. We've got industry news, got lots of logistics news. Actually, I think I found the mother lode of relevant logistics news relating to, the carrier base. So that's going to be happening in industry news. We're going to bring in Ty at the 50-minute mark, as we always do. And he's going to help me kick off our live call-in show. We did Carriers Unfiltered, 3 months ago? Something like that. And then this guy, Daulet. Daulet said in the Instagram after last week's show, hey, I want to talk. I want to talk to you. I was like, okay, great, let's do it. Let's bring Daulet. Daulet's our feature tonight. He's a dispatcher. He's a broker. He is in that special niche category. We'll be talking more about that. Lloyd Vanover, owner-operator, River City Services. He was on Friday Cars on the Move. He's back on tonight. We've also got Carlos Braxton in the house. Going to be joining us up on center stage. Checking with Carlos. What's going on, Carlos? What it is. And then we've got Joe Bercari. Joe Bercari, friend of the show. Always here to help. We've got an excellent round of folks. Plus, we're going to take live calls. We want you to feel like you could participate. It gets said, you know, we go around the verticals. Check, mic, check. We go around the verticals throughout the year. And we're on our core base carrier vertical again tonight. So feel like you can chime in, say hello, say whatever you want. Say something relevant. You can click share, click copy, grab that YouTube link. Please do leave a like. Yeah, I know there's one laying around here somewhere. And you can just slap it right up on the screen for me. That would be great. Also, if it's you or somebody else that is just, if you're lost in car shipping, 417-483-2764. That, again, goes for dealers, carriers, brokers, dispatchers, shippers, consigners, owners, and drivers. Everybody is welcome. Say hello to Ty. He's in the live chat. He will take your call. He loves to get a text now and then, maybe even an email, and sometimes a fax. So I'll tell you what, let's do this, because right after this, we're into the live chat. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Everybody wants to be part of a bigger story. Auto transport is a vital part of that story. Vehicle reconditioning starts when your transport arrives at the dealership. The story starts with you. For our auto retail customers, as yours, full satisfaction.
Car dealers can see the rapid recon difference with transparent communication through the vehicle reconditioning process, auto remarketing, and dealer inventory management software. Visit rapidrecon.com. Links in the live chat. Thank you so much. Let's go into that live chat. Say hello. Drum roll, please. Hey, man, it's 2023. We made it. Oh, whoops, wrong button. Despite Nostradamus and an incorrectly timely placed splash. Okay, let's go back up to the top. John Cochran is here. Hey, everyone. John says he's heading from Tennessee. Oh, heading to Tennessee and Texas tomorrow. Yeah, keep us posted. Let us know, what are you loaded with? What kind of pickup and delivery locations? How do you feel about it? How's your backhaul? I think the weather's okay, just cold. How's the rig running? How are you? Have you settled? Have you found some favorite brokers, favorite customers, favorite truck stops? Can you find parking? What irritates you? What do you like? I want to know. I want to know all those things. Justin, National Car Shipping. Now, Justin, did I see a video on YouTube about a few days ago about priority shipping? Good job, Justin. Awesome, man. Ty is in here. Dang, how'd you guys get in here so fast? Saying hello, running up and down the aisles, giving high fives. Lloyd Vanover is here. Good evening to all here and all of you joining tonight. Lloyd is on the show tonight. And that's the thing, man. See, now I know that we're busy coordinating our pheasant hunting, but there's a lot to talk about in between, two events a year. And that's what we're here for. That's what we're trying to do. There's a lot to be said. I was scouring Facebook again, as I do, and I didn't find a lot of posts to share as much as I do see. It's interesting. I do see a certain amount of camaraderie versus, hey, man, what are you thinking? But I also I saw another one today. Hey, I'm new here. Anybody want to help? It's interesting. It's fascinating to me. Fascinating, I say. Oh, Kimberly is here. Kimberly's in the live chat, chatting it up. Thank you, Kimberly. Appreciate that. Happy New Year, and welcome to Tuesday Night's Live. We're glad you are here. Carlos Braxton is in the live chat. We're going to check in with Carlos. Get those bullet points going. I want to hear bullets. I want to know, what are you loading in that gun of complaints? That's what I want to know. Or positivity. Hey, man, it's Happy New Year. Let's see. Oh, Mark Rodicke is in the live chat. Mark Superflow Systems. What's going on, Mark? Yeah, Mark. See, you know what Mark did? See, he was paying attention. He was in the live chat Friday when we had Orby, and already putting the introduction together. Did you see somebody on the show you want to talk to? Let us know. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Now, let it be known that, we're gonna make sure before we invite you to our closest friends, we're gonna make sure we know, what do you want? What do you need? What do you have? But yeah, it's a minimal firewall. Sure. It's a little more hefty than, hey, I'm new here. Sky Hallman made it in. What's up, Sky Hallman? That's cool. Thanks for saying hello. Happy New Year to you, Sky. Mic check 1, 2, 3. The audio's okay? All right. Oh, Kelly Love is in the live chat. Happy New Year's, everyone. Thanks, Kelly, for saying hello. Artie is here. What's up? Happy New Year, Artie. Yeah. Yep, how'd you find an ants icon? Do they have those? Sounds like a real Search-a-palooza. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. We got lots of news. So let's get right to it. We'll be back in a minute. Stick around.
Transport Auto Quoter is by far the leading auto quoting software on the market, and the only auto quoter with a pro version that comes preset with accurate pricing for anywhere in the U.S. So you don't have to worry about it. The best part is that no change with your current software is needed. Just plug TAQ in and start booking jobs. Carriers can easily plug TAQ into their current websites and start making money right away. I bet you're wondering how we do this instantly and accurately 24/7. Well, constant analytics is the key. Our Price Watch team is constantly monitoring current market conditions, paying close attention to seasonal and quick-moving industry changes. At the end of the day, it takes a lot of time and data to maintain good pricing, time that most of us just don't have on a daily basis. So free yourself up. Using TAQ Pro is really a no-brainer. Save time and money, maximizing your leads and optimizing your online investments. You'll finally be able to sleep well at night knowing that TAQ is on the job selling for you 24/7. Never missing a potential job.
Searching for that midnight auto shipping quote and new lead software you can trust. Provide instant, accurate quotes online with Transport Auto Quoter and move cars fast with Pro ABD CRM. Visit superflowsystems.com. Oh, thank you so much, Marks. We sure do appreciate it. Making martinis in the super chat. Where were you New Year's Eve? Oh, New Year's Eve, ATI family. Well, I didn't have any martinis on New Year's Eve. I was drinking Amaretto and Cranberry Sprite. Ask Kimberly. And we were playing poker. It was all adults. Okay. So thank you so much. Really do appreciate that again. Thank you for making martinis in the super chat. It is a happy New Year. Let's just talk about it is a happy New Year, right? It's There's Kimberly. It is a happy New Year. It's great to be in 2023, shaking off the dust of that 2022. I read something like only 1 in 3 adults had a prosperous 2022. I don't know. Something. Which is funny because, I don't know, is 2023 looking that much better? Have you bought bacon lately? All right, let's go into come on now, Jay. Here we go. Let's cue it up. What show is this, Mark? It's 275 in a row on a Tuesday night. Auto Logistics Unfiltered Q1 2023. They said it couldn't be done, and they were wrong. Because we're here. Now, see, cheap car shipping? No. See, no. You don't want to do that. You do not Google cheap car shipping. It's not... And by the way, this is how stupid this post is. Are you going to ship that? Cheapest car shipping? Open transport with some Oh my God, this is just ridiculous. This is why we're talking about easy peasy lemon squeezy. No, see, no, no, skip that. The customer's always right. No, see, no, no. This is auto transport, folks. And so we are on ATI Auto Business. We are following the disconnect between sales and operations. See, sales said all that dumb stuff, right? Actually, somebody in marketing. Jeez. Somebody in marketing said dumber stuff than somebody in sales, and now somebody in operations has to clean it up. We need a slide of a mop. Well, here's the thing, is that, so America's Savage, he replied, make some podcasts with carriers, brokers like us after my Instagram, and so there it is. So Daulet, you're on the show tonight. Now, here's the really funny part, is that dispatchers and brokers are what? Fill in the blank. Did they change the... Sounded different. Okay, let's try that. Oh, here we go. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Cut. Okay. ATI, Auto Business. Take two. All right, here we go. Let's try that again. So, dispatchers and brokers are what? What are they? What are dispatchers and brokers? What is the role of dispatchers and brokers in auto transport business? I say it that way because, right, here's your resolution. Is that, do we understand? It's 2023. Does anybody understand the role of dispatchers and brokers in auto transport? There seems to be no consensus on this. Depending on who you ask, you will get a different answer pretty much every time. Why is that? That's weird. All right, let's keep going. Which button am I hitting? Oh, that one. Front of the store, back of the store. You know, on ATI, we talk about, you know, if you're in the back, in the transport parking lot, go ahead and try walking around the front of the store, of the auction. Well, that might take 8 hours instead of 4, but do try it. And vice versa. Hey, if you're in the front of the auction, take the 3 hours to walk where the carriers are. Give that a shot. I guarantee you're going to learn something. We look at the entire ecosystem here on ATI, and tonight is no exception. What we're going to do is carriers, brokers, services, dispatchers are in there somewhere. On behalf of the rest of the industry, everything, this is no holds barred. You believe me, watch the rest of industry news. And so to prove it, here's a meme. I have slept with 2 former presidents. I speak 4 languages and I own 2 Monets. Do you have any dry vans ready now in Chicago? Okay, I shared that last week and it never gets old. That is a great meme. It shows the disparity between sales and operations. I went ahead and dragged out again, Transportation Dumpster Fire, which we're going to be featuring again tonight. It is what it is, as we like to say. And we always, on Thursdays, you're going to see a little bit of dispatching live here for a moment. On Thursdays, we ask if you got the memo. I don't know if you got the memo, but here's the deal. It was the dispatcher. See, the dispatcher gets blamed for everything. If there's something you don't like and there's no broker to blame, it was the dispatcher. Boy, do I have his voice partially. Every Thursday, Bachelorette Truck Stop on Dispatching Live. Again, if you're not too busy on Facebook, you might tune in for Bachelorette Truck Stop on Dispatching Live, and you can really get out the, because we say this is auto transport. You can do whatever you want. You can grab a mask and jump right in. People do. You'll see it on the #1 load board. People do whatever they want. They will continue to do whatever they want. It's 2023. And you can just jump right in like it's the 80s. And there's the thing. So this is, I'm naming this the Darth Vader Brokers Association because I don't know how the carriers and the brokers decided to gang up together to crush the dispatchers. We are in the craziest industry. It would be like if the CEOs got together with custodians to crush the secretaries. I don't know how they pulled it off, but they did. But did they? See, they tried. But the FMCSA said, now wait a second. I don't know if you know this, but they issued guidelines on the definition of a broker and a bona fide agent. Ask and ye shall receive. Oh, you want more government intervention? Well, here you go. The agency clarified the handling of money exchange between shippers and motor carriers really is where you'll find the proof in the pudding. And because that is the proof of the pudding, the FMCSA clarified on what constitutes a dispatch service. First, they work exclusively for motor carriers, not for shippers. They source loads for carriers. They perform additional service for carriers. They work for carriers. And there you go. And that's the long and the short of it. You don't have to like it. You're welcome to go ahead and go back to the source and raise the gauntlet and throw a tantrum and go back to the FMCSA. Sure. Why not? This is auto transport. As we pointed out a week ago, in 2022, we went from home delivery to any delivery. We'll take any, I don't care if you're coughing and sweating, just bring me my car. Okay. Now, as I point that out, NADA show is 3.5 weeks from now. And I realize, who cares, right? I get it. Nobody cares about NADA show. That's not true at all. See, here's the thing. The dealers, it's dealer city, okay? And then some. And guess what they all need? They need cars. They need cars being transported and delivered. That's right. And what are they? So what's going to happen? What's going to happen when somebody at NADA says, "Hey, who do you use for transportation?" I don't know. Okay. All right. I forgot to watch ATI. I didn't get anybody. Hey, did you hear this prediction? Has anybody else seen this? Okay, prediction. Carvana gets acquired by Amazon. Somebody call Nostradamus. Does anybody know where I saw this? Put it in the live chat. It'll be, maybe we'll put it in the trivia questions. Cable Dahmer Connect. I saw this too. Vehicle concierge, do you see this? Vehicle concierge services. I want to learn more about this. I'm going to keep an eye out. Let me know. Yeah, see, Sky's got it. It's right. It's Amazon or Walmart. And how good is that going to be? Who wants to see Amazon or Walmart acquire Amazon and then get into car hauling? You thought you lived in a tent now. Oh, yeah, it was Steve Greenfield. Nice job. Steve Greenfield put it in Automotive Ventures that this is his. And I want to say I already said this to somebody, but I can't. I guess I can't be sure. I don't know. But it sure is interesting. All right, let's talk about RPM's blog on driver shortage and what's causing it and how to fix it. Now, take notes. Take notes. And add your own notes. Let's talk about this. They will crush car dealers once and for all? Nah. We'll see. I mean, it's interesting. But actually, I'm going to say this. They will crush car haulers. See, there you go. See, that's the problem. That's the problem. You thought the Darth Vader FMCSA against dispatchers was tough. Again, I'm speculating wildly here, by the way. Let's read the blog. Let's get to the blog, Jay. What's causing the truck driver shortage? Now, I mentioned, they are talking about freight and car hauling, so I'm going to focus on car hauling. Driver turnover, low wages, unpaid labor, restricting driver hours, high risk, unfair fines, demands of the job. It's pretty close. Pretty close. High driver turnover is terrible for several reasons. It causes carriers and freight companies to spend valuable time and money training new drivers. That is a major problem. They must immediately replace those drivers with fresh candidates who require additional time and training. It is time down the drain. High driver turnover leads to unpredictable schedules, unhappy clients, and a generally slower freight system overall. True, all true. High driver turnover is driven in part by, perceived obsolescence, which is interesting, lifestyle aspects, opportunities for better wages and better working conditions in other professions. See, I'm going to go with number 3 as the big one. But I'll tell you, there is no shortage of Facebook. Hey, I'm new here. I don't know why. The average truck driver. Okay, this kind of freightish, but makes over 70 grand a year. Which at first, that sounds all right. That's the thing is, there's definitely a YouTube get-rich-quick draw to how much money you're going to make working in trucking. Let's get to that. You got to work long hours to get to that, and it's a harsh industry. Many drivers want to make more money for working what would otherwise be unreasonable schedules. Truck drivers frequently have to participate in unpaid labor. All right, yeah. I suppose, that's true. It there's a lot. Chime in. We got John and Lloyd and Artie. How much stuff do you have to do? You really don't, you don't really get paid to do all those things. Right? Wrong button. Time unloading and loading and then chasing down clients for money. Right? Oh, geez. Many truck drivers would be on the road more often if they could, because they need to be on the road more often to make more money. But you got all these crazy driving regulations, which I get it. We want people to sleep, but I don't think I can sleep when my computer tells me to sleep. I don't think so. I don't think it works that way. But Jay, many truck drivers face high risk depending on the freight they carry, the routes they take, the hours they're required to drive. Trucks carry massive loads, and accidents involving these vehicles can be dangerous for drivers and anyone involved. All trucks must stop at load testing stations. Man, the amount of DOT. Oh, we have a whole show because it's a headache. Bottom line, many truck drivers are caught between a rock and a hard place when following regulations and fines. And many drivers are only home a few times in a given month. Right, how often are you home? Tell me. Now there's a Facebook show. My wife and I talk about my schedule. So I use a talk. We talked about the schedule. Truck drivers frequently have to live in their trucks, shower at rest areas, meaning opportunities for privacy. Right? What kind of privacy do you even have? Yeah, tell me about your privacy. This impacts each driver's mental health. Now we're talking mental health. Oh man, enjoyment of life. Ugh. Taco Bell manager's looking pretty good right now. How do we fix this? Okay, I like this. Here's the solutions. More pay, less time on the road. Okay, that would make sense. Ooh, lower the age requirement. I don't remember age being a problem, but appeal to minority groups, less than truckload shipping and autonomous trucking. So, wait a minute, what? Anyways, this is why blogs are fun. Blogs are fun. What else? If you send in your comments to ATI, Auto Transport Intel. Now, I realize they didn't publish that blog because it was fun. I gotta have a little fun. When I read a blog, boy, do I love blogs. Don't get me started. This is how you get your car shipping news. It's on ATI Auto Business. You go what you want to do. Go ahead and put up on the big screen. Maybe you got a bigger screen. Put it up on the really giant screen. Here we go. It's time. Step right up. Every Tuesday night, we got 5 new questions. That's right, 5 new questions on Are You a Car Shipping Guru? I want you to play at home. Get your fingers on the buzzers. Yeah, see, Scott, it's bad for all. It is. This is why, in my opinion, we needed Carvana to work out. Oh. Dun 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 dun. Sing it with me. Dun 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 dun. Go dun. Okay. Here we go. Question 1. That's the wrong. Did they move my button? Who moved my button? Oh, I see. Oh, I gotcha. All right, here we go. Oh, that's not what it... Here we go. How many auctions did Carvana purchase in the Car Odessa deal? Is it 26, 36, 46, or 56? How many auctions did Carvana purchase in the Car Odessa deal? 26, 36, 46, or 56. Anybody know this one? This is interesting stuff. Why are we talking about this? Why? Well, shoot, man. I just did the, I didn't even realize this question was coming up, and I just did the, Evil Empire bit? Ah, how embarrassing, Jay. Right on your own show live. Jeez. Okay, we got 36. Oh, we got 2 for 36. We got 1 for 26. How many auctions did Carvana purchase in the Car Odessa deal? Assuming it goes through. How many? Oh, we have 3 for 36. You are not going to believe the answer. Are you ready? You're not going to believe this one. It is 56 auctions. 56. Odessa was the second largest auto auction group nationwide, second to Mannheim. I don't have the Mannheim number. Can anybody Google that? Put it in the live chat. If you're able to Google, I know. That is crazy. I double checked it. 56 auctions. I know it's hard to believe. I mean, come on, Carvana. Everybody can we pass a hat? Do you really want Darth Vader to take over? Okay. All right, that's enough, Jay. That was really a lot. Question 2. What is the appropriate carrier pay to ship a 2020 Jeep Wrangler on an open carrier from Tiffin, Ohio to Snohomish, Washington? Ooh, I like it. Open carrier. Meaning I like the specificity. 2020 Jeep Wrangler, short and stubby. From open, that's dispatcher talk. Open carrier, Tiffin, Ohio to Snohomish, Washington. And these are current rates, not last week's, right? Last week it would have been $21.70. Am I right, Justin? It's interesting because Vincent Delgado's got $18.90. Carlos has $21.70. Oh, we got 2 at 20. We have 3 at $18.90, 2 at $21.70. I'm gonna go with. Man, I'm a pessimist. I'm awful at this. Although pessimism works well when you're dispatching, you just assume the worst, and when they call and tell you they just flipped over and crashed into a building, you're like, yeah, I knew it. $21.70. Yeah, I'm gonna go with $21.70. Sure, $21.70 is blowing up the chat. It better be set $21.70. Show me $21.70. Oh man, see what I'm saying? I should have gone pessimistic. Curses. I should have been like one of them evil voiceovers on Hanna-Barbera cartoons on Saturday mornings. Dirty kids. All right, here we go. Question 3. Ritchie Brothers is set to acquire which company? Is it Copart, IAA, Mannheim, or Central Dispatch? Have you read this? Ritchie Brothers. Now, it's like Ritchie Brothers Auctioneer Company, but think heavy equipment auction, right? They auction out heavy equipment. I don't know how often you pick up at a Ritchie Brothers. It probably isn't very often. But this is a bit, right? Boo, look at that. 2 boos. It was. Now, see, Justin was, well, Justin? Woohoo, if it was cross country, yes. 2170, yeah. I know. It's fascinating. Oh, wow. The live chat is blowing up with IAA. Look at this. So you guys already heard. That's good. I was gonna do which global logistics company purchased their first U.S. domestic auto auction in Ohio? Bonus question. Go ahead and put it in the live chat. Please. I mean, if you want. I mean, you can. You don't have to. But this gives me an opportunity while I word salad. It gives me an opportunity to post that. Hey, you got an extra like, please? Thanks. Thank you. Appreciate it. Here we go. Question 4. What is the appropriate carrier pay to ship a 2019 Toyota Corolla on an open carrier from Orangeville, California to St. Paul, Minnesota? Oh my God, Artie's got it. Look at that. Artie got Glovis. Ty got Glovis. Who's Glovis? William's got Bobby Adcock. Okay. Thanks, William. Thank you, William. All right. Corolla, open, California, Minnesota. I mean, you'd think it better darn be 1550, but here's the thing. They're going to say, they're on the phone right now. Well, we got a 9 car down the street. Swing on by and pick it up. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You know it ain't 1550. Come on. Is it? Oh, I'm telling you. Oh, man, don't you hate me? Oh, God. Man, there's going to be nobody left in business. If these really, I mean, listen, I'm not mad at you, Larry. I'm just saying, like, no, I mean, oh, man. I hope you don't like bacon. Here we go. Question 5. What is Cottrell's final mile solution? Is it a dedicated dealership dispatcher, a dedicated auto auction sales rep, a 1-car, 2-car enclosed trailer, or the new OEM 9-car Stinger? IAA was to buy Atco Raceway, New Jersey, but the residents voted down. Would have been great 10 minutes from me. Interesting. Cottrell's final mile solution. Is it a dispatcher? Is it a sales rep? Is it a small trailer? Or is it a new 9-car Stinger? Cottrell's final mile solution. This is a tricky one. I put the tricky one last. Although I can't believe the 2 and 4, man. Those rate questions blew me out of the water. All right, so we've got 2 for small trailer, and we got 2 for the new OEM Stinger. This is real. This is Cottrell's final mile solution. This is a real thing, and it is actually one of these 4. I can't believe no one's saying dealership dispatcher. Okay. Well, I gave it away. All right, it's 3 or 4. It is? Yeah, it is? All right, here we go. Let's see what it is. It is the new 1-car, 2-car enclosed trailer. Cottrell has moved into the smaller trailer. Now, here's the really bad news. If you're a super trucker and you've been yelling on Facebook about how only real men drive high rails and Stingers, well, I guess, I don't know. Sorry, man. Sorry, dude. Okay, well, that was fun. That was a great time. And I only alienated another half of the industry. So listen, here we go. Let's do this. Take a quick break. Get your ELD punch. Don't you love that ELD? We got some more. We got some great stuff coming up next here in Industry News Part 2. So stick around because we'll be right back.
McCollister's has been around for over 76 years, and we're known as providing our customers with high-level, white-glove, concierge-style services. We provide our customers solutions in both transportation, logistics, and warehousing.
We take a very different approach than most auto logistics companies. Our approach is one of being consultative and adaptive to the auto industry. Our approach saves time and money while providing tangible data, which helps improve processes.
McCollister's offers a unique tech solution which we call our AutoVista portal. It's a cloud-based solution. It provides the ability for our dealership partners to access it using any device they want, whenever they need.
Most auto logistics companies just want to deliver your car. We want to do more than that. All of those measurements that are important to you to run your business and understand where your costs are, McCollister's AutoVista technology supports that.
It's a car shipping performance data management tool. That's why car dealers love the AutoVista portal by McCollister's Transportation Group. Find out what you're missing. Visit McCollisters.com. Links in the live chat, email, website, phone number. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Oh, it's time. It's time for Industry News Part 2. All right. So, gearing up for 2023, OOIDA prioritizes, their priorities include securing more truck parking and fighting speed limiters. We have several things on the docket at OOIDA as the Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association enters its 50th anniversary. There's no time for the long-time trucking group to rest on its laurels. Oh, okay, here we go. All right. So 50 years. Think about that. The Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association, 50 years in the making. That's how long they've been fighting for owner-operators. This is a very interesting association to know about, think about, and maybe even feel like contacting. Now, OOIDA hasn't thrown me any money or anything to do this. I just think that of all the associations that I've run across, I know I'm taking a couple jabs here, but come on. I mean, are we doing stuff or aren't we? OOIDA will continue advocating for truck drivers' rights by working to secure more truck parking, increase broker transparency, improve driver pay, and ensure that truckers have access to a restroom. You'd think you wouldn't have to spell out the restroom bit, but it looks like you do. Let's start with truck parking. With the assistance of OOIDA, Representative first introduced the Truck Parking Safety Improvement Act in 2020 and reintroduced it in 2021. We're talking about truck parking, and it's still being reintroduced. This past July, the bipartisan bill, which would allocate over $750 million over 4 years to truck parking, cleared a major hurdle in Congress. The next step is for the bill to go to the House floor. Well, let's hope so. Gosh, you'd think truck parking would have been figured out before 2023. Okay. This is going to get awkward. Broker transparency. In 2020, OOIDA petitioned FMCSA to begin the rulemaking process for more transparency in transactions with brokers. The petition asked the agency to require brokers to automatically provide an electronic copy of each transaction within 48 hours and to explicitly provide brokers from including any provision that requires a carrier to waive their rights to access the transaction. Do you know about that? Oh. Okay. Man. That's craziness. Driver compensation. Through the Guaranteeing Overtime for Truckers Act, OOIDA hopes to force the industry to value a truck driver's time. What is this the 50s? Or the 30s? Or the late 1800s? We have to still do this? It's still going. We're going to keep going. This is crazy. Restroom access? OOIDA supported a Washington state bill that requires shippers and receivers to provide restroom access. Do dealers and auction reps know about this? My goodness. What are they, children? Speed limiters. Oh, there's another dumb one. Okay. The fight with speed limiters is still in its early stages. In May, FMCSA issued a supplemental advance notice of proposed rulemaking to get, I love that language, to get feedback on a potential mandate. Under the initial proposal, CMVs with a gross vehicle weight of 26,000 or more pounds are equipped with an electronic engine control unit. ELD wasn't enough. We need robots like inside the hood. Capable of being governed, would be subject to the mandate, and over 15,000 truckers said no. You think? Electronic IDs. Saying the proposal sent up red flags is a... what are they saying? I don't know. FMCSA published an advance notice of proposed rulemaking regarding the possibility of requiring interstate commercial motor vehicles to have electronic IDs. Wait, isn't that the same thing as the... Or did I read it twice? Am I losing my mind? ELDs. Another advance notice of proposal... advance notice of proposed rulemaking. We got an advance notice of proposed rulemaking. Wow. I guess maybe we need it. I don't know. The notice involves several aspects of the regulation. However, the part of the notice that caught the attention of many truck drivers was about the mandate's applicability to pre-2000 engines. This is coming up later. Okay, so you pre-2000 engines? Yeah, we don't like your engine, and we're going to get rid of that too. So more IDs, more ELDs, less engines. FMCSA, OOIDA proposed the original ELD mandate, and will fight against. Yeah, I don't. Wow. Why does anybody want to get in? Hey, Facebook! I'm new here! I've never heard of any of this stuff! AB5, while most of OOIDA's fights are in the congressional or regulatory arenas, the association will be fighting against California's one-size-fits-all worker classification law in the courts. AB5, oh my gosh. Undue burden is just the half of it. But do this. Here, you can go here. You can, if you want, you can go to OOIDA.com, OOIDA.com. And again, I'm just saying, I mean, that's 2-year membership for $50. That's not bad at all. So it's the association I see the most coming out of on a regular basis, having to deal with all the issues that affect you, my friends. It affects you. Don't tell me it doesn't. Name at least 5 of these issues you had to deal with today. Which are your top 5? Here we go. Here's a tweet. Starting on Monday in California, which was, yesterday, trucks and buses with engines made before 2010 are banned. This is over 70,000 vehicles. Also applies to trucks. There we go. Great. Pre-2000. Shoot. Now, I don't know if that's real or not. It's on Twitter. It's more real than it used to be. Am I right? And here's another. This is really fascinating. Auto Hauler United Road. This was in Freightwaves. Auto Hauler United Road faces challenge dealing with its debt. Did you read this? An agency holds parent company's non-investment grade debt rating steady, but reduces its outlook to negative. Now let's talk about this again for a second. I'm not a finance guy. Really? Agency holds parent company's non-investment grade debt rating steady, but reduces its outlook to negative. I'm just reading it. I'm not going to interpret. United Road, a major hauler of automobiles, is looking at a weak market for new vehicle production as well as used car sales, prompting a ratings agency to change its outlooks for the company's parent. We expect to hear this is right from this is right in line with what I'm saying. We expect further delays in the U.S. domestic light vehicle production recovery to contribute to ongoing weak performance for United Road. The S&P Global report said United Road Services' financial performance is likely to remain weak over the next 12 months amid subdued new vehicle sales in the U.S. So here's your shell game. If there are less new vehicles, and the best jobs are the 9 cars that move new cars, tell me more about the musical chairs going on out there. Somebody's not moving a chair, or 9, or 100, right? Somebody's going to have to get into used vehicles, and then somebody is maybe going to start looking at the final mile solution and moving 1 or 2 cars at a time. I'm just saying, man. I'm speculating live. It's for all the reasons everyone expects, United Road President and CEO Mark Anderson said of the S&P move to a negative outlook. By the way, this article, I know this is less than a month old. Yeah, this is December 15th. Don't be saying I dug it out of the 80s. Mark Anderson, he said it's for all the reasons everyone expects. The reasons he cited include the auto industry shutdowns that began with COVID and continued into a lowered delivery rate in the past year due to the tight supplies of new vehicles. Our revenue went down, our earnings went down, and when you have those things go down and your debt stays consistent, you're going to get a downgrade. The ratings group at S&P earlier in the year forecast that light vehicle sales would increase 2% in the U.S. in 2022. But it now expects a 4 to 6% contraction before improving in 2023 as automakers' supply improves. Its forecast for 2023 is a 5 to 7% improvement, though as the report notes, that is off a base that will show a decline this year. Essentially, not much change. Don't get excited. Initial forecast called for deliveries of nearly 16 million new vehicles this year. But that number is likely to be closer to 14. There's your number. How many new vehicles are expected to move this year? 14 million, which is lower than in the past. Shoot. United Road says it hauls more than 4 million vehicles annually, believes it is the industry leader. United Road Services posted free operating cash flow deficits of $2 million in 2020 and $16 million in 2021. Check this out. This you're not going to believe, Ty. I did not know this. Look at this. I know, this article is kind of fascinating. United Road does not publicly release figures. Okay. The S&P report says the cash flow position at United Road benefit from its divestiture of Team Driveway. Check that out. I did not know that. A company it bought in 2019, and they sold it several months ago. Team Driveway. United Road Services sold Team Driveway after buying it in 2019. Wow. Who'd they sell it to? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Just keep it to yourself. Oh, by the way, here. What you want to do, I put this up here too. I thought this would be interesting. Go to UnitedRoad.com. You can go to UnitedRoad.com. See their services. Open and closed, oversized. Direct to home, storage marshaling, new vehicle remarketing, specialty. Pretty interesting stuff. I mean, they got a lot of business, and they're number one, got a lot of business, and they're being downgraded. Does that tell you something? Stop Googling cheap car shipping. But wait a minute. If there's just as many carriers as there were before, and there's less cars, supply and demand says we can get a lower rate. Great. That's great news. Oh, yeah. I'm loving that. AIR. This came from Repo Ryan. AIR is now rejecting 4 major lenders and 1 forwarder over storage. AIR expects the list of lenders that will be refused service to grow. See, here's the deal. On November 4th, we got to get rid of that again. On November 14th, the Alliance of Illinois Repossessors issued a press release stating that on January 2nd, their members would start rejecting cases that do not provide a daily storage rate to be invoiced to help offset the escalating costs recovery companies accrue to safely store units on their facilities in Illinois. Yeah, that's right. Newsflash, auto transport, auto recovery. They're dealing with folks that expect free storage. You think cheap car shipping? Really, Jay? You think free car shipping sucks? Or cheap car shipping sucks. Well, this is free storage sucks. It does suck. We can no longer provide free storage. You'd think that you wouldn't have to tell somebody. An analysis done by members of the Alliance demonstrated the average per unit cost for storage was between $12 and $14. We just can't do it for free. Sorry, man. We're really sorry. But we can't do free storage. If you see this, you're looking at a podcast, get the podcast. It's ATI Auto Business. That's what you're looking for. That's where you'll get all this juicy news and, speculation. 417-483-2764. Call or text Ty. He wants to help you. We are inside the ABC dealer app. That's Auction V Commerce. Thank you so much, Kelly, for helping us spread the word. And you get that. You can download the app on the App Store or Google Play. ABC Auction V Commerce. Look at that live chat going crazy. Make sure you tune in for Thursdays, Thermonuclear Thursdays. You think this is fun? Wow, wait till you join us on Thursday. There's the dispatching live at noon Central Time every Thursday. And then Cars on the Move is every Friday. Did I put it in here? Oh, you know who we got this Friday? This is cool. Friday, I think I forgot to put the thumbnail, but it's okay. We got Bob Grill of Carfax. He does a podcast, Just the Facts, with Bob Grill of Carfax. He's going to join us this Friday on Cars on the Move, noon Central Time. So be sure to stick around and join that. Okay, here's what's going to happen now. It is time. Auto Logistics Unfiltered. Oh, we're a few minutes late. That's okay. I got some pull with the owner. After this break, we're going to be live with Ty. We're going to tee it up. And then we're going to bring in Daulet. First time on ATI. You know how Daulet got here, if you don't already know? He messaged me through Instagram. So if you make a stink, we'll be right back. Ship Your Car Now presents Integrated Automotive Transportation Solutions. When your car buying customers are on your dealership website shopping for vehicles, they can easily find an instant shipping quote. By entering simple information, first name, last name, email, and phone number, delivery zip, delivery state, and clicking the button, Get Your Shipping Quote. Choose from express shipping, enclosed transport, and proceed to checkout. Review the order summary. Enter the delivery street address and city, and click Next. Simply enter your credit card information just like any other online shopping cart. And when you are ready, click Review Your Shipping Order. Check your shipping order one more time and choose Proceed to Checkout. Your delivery is all set. If you want to ship your car now, go to Ship Your Car Now. Ship Your Car Now provides a full suite of vehicle shipping services for all types of businesses. That's why Ship Your Car Now offers trusted carriers, great paying loads, fast. Visit shipyourcarnow.com. Links in the live chat. Thank you very much for taking the time to tune in tonight. By the way, let's look at this live chat here. We got, Joe Bercari's here. And, wow, awesome. Private equity groups have a formula. Not sure I understand it, but they sure seem to stick to it. Jacob Watts is here. What's going on? Chris Chamberlain. So I got the photo. Let's take a look at this photo while Ty's getting ready here. So we've got, I think Chris is saying that, let's see here. Okay, Chris is saying that we've already got that. Is that the Cottrell final mile solution? I think that's what Chris is saying. Let me check that, Chris. Haven't checked, but Colorado. Is that right though, Chris? Is that the? Oh, Ron is here. What's up, Ron? Cool. Happy New Year. Oh, and Ron's got a story. Oh, and Marco's here too. What's up, Marco? Awesome. Yeah, I had a feeling that some of that news might, I don't know. I don't know how to end that sentence. Let's check in with Ty. Ladies and gentlemen, up on center stage right now, for your enjoyment, and information. It's Auto Logistics Unfiltered. Here we go. Ty, can you see me and hear me?
I sure can. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm kind of
Dude,
lit
you're
up.
on fire. You're
Yeah, I
like
know.
crazy, man.
Well,
what are you doing?
You know what? I'm going through the day, and I'm just kind of doing my thing, and then I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. But you know what? There's so many. You know what I don't understand? Why are there so many people on Facebook shouting out that they're new and they're getting in when there's all this crap? Do they not know?
No, they don't. And as a matter of fact, because of this show, I always say that, but because of this show, I get a call. Call Ty, 417-483-2764. I can help you out. Maybe not. Today, I got 2 calls today, but today the second call was really interesting because how do you answer this question, Jay? Here's the question. Hey, Ty, should I be a carrier or a broker?
Wow.
What do you do? What do you do with that?
What do you do?
Well, here's what I did. I said
you've
I
got
would
an
be a
answer.
carrier first because if you're going to be a broker, if that's really what you want to do, go drive a truck for a year. See what it's like. You need to know that. And if you want to become a broker, you'll definitely need that truck that you drove for a year because the carrier is going to screw you. I just said that live.
Oh my God.
You're on fire.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
You thought you were on fire, right?
That's what it just reminded me, and that's when I literally went on fire was with the Darth Vader stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I said, go drive the truck, for a year, build the business, learn what happens when your 3-car Kaufman tire and wheel just flies out, gone. I mean, learn all this stuff so that as a broker, if the carrier's being honest with you. So I say mean things about the carrier, but here's what I know about our carrier base, ATI carrier base. I don't mean that to our base because our base understands we're here to learn business. We're here to understand our customer and we're here to communicate, right? Because if you bring the broker guys on, all they ask for is, would you just let me know what you're doing? That's true.
Well, and that's this is what makes it so strange is that, like, if you watch the show and then you hang out with us at a trade show, we can't talk about all of it in every conversation, but we do touch upon it. I mean, this is one crazy industry.
Oh, and that's what I said. You need to really drive the truck to understand just how, this, as a carrier, which I've been for 20 plus years, I've owned a fleet, I've done a lot. I've been a broker, I've been a dealer, all at the same time as a carrier. And I'm just telling you, this will test your fortitude, everything in you. Car hauling will put you to the extreme limits that you could never comprehend. And that's where I think ATI comes in. That's why I like ATI, is because here's what we talk about. We talk about what's going on at United Road. What does that have to do with a guy who wants to be a carrier broker?
I thought when I saw the United Road article, originally I was like, oh, I'm not going to read that live. Really, I was. And then I was like, no, I just need to find the right place for it. And it was tonight's show. That's why that article's a few weeks ago. But, like, as I really dove into it, I'm like, man, this is actually really bad news for a lot of us.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, well, and good news is we have some carriers on tonight, and one of the carriers, I'm confident, has a lot of insights that may or may not help us all, right? Well, probably will, but my man Joe.
Oh,
I love Joe.
Exactly.
Joe Bercari.
Joe Bercari. So we're going to have to Joe...
Midwestern Car Carriers.
Joe,
Randy Wills is in the live chat, dude.
Who is?
Randy.
Oh, I know. I saw him. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, what's up, Randy? Wave again, because I just cut away from you.
Hey, Randy.
And so Joe's in the caboose.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to bring
we got to bring him on.
Yeah.
Get him on.
Well, we're going to bring in, we're going to slow burn this firework. We're going to bring in Daulet first, okay? Daulet is a holy mackerel. Did you see this? Wow. Thanks, Ron. Happy New Year to you and everybody in the live chat. Let's go to camera 1 on that martini. Thank you so much, Ron. I really do appreciate it. Ron just threw $100 in the super chat. Wow. That is awesome. Thank you, buddy. Wow, bang. Anybody close to this channel knows that goes to a good place. Oh, by the way, mic check. Oh my gosh, what's happened to my audio here? Hang on.
Oh, you're killing me.
My audio's going crazy. Check. Hang on one second. Mike. It was. Are you okay? Are you? Check. Are we okay now? Okay, check. Are you okay? I think it's better. I had to turn it way down. The microphone went crazy.
Something happened.
All right, my mic. Yeah, your mic is hot. Okay, so now it's low.
No, you're good.
Mic check 1 2. I don't know why it does. It's finicky. It's
random.
the audio. I don't know if it's the applause.
It's like calling
button.
cars. I don't know why the cars don't fit.
Why does it need to change? Yeah.
I didn't know that I needed to have more space.
Well, that's why on the question 2, when I read Jeep Wrangler and I said short and stubby, give me as much trailer space as you can, because I know. And you know what? If we find 3 Jeep Wranglers, then they're going to want a 4th on the 3 car.
That's right.
Yeah, we can fit a 4th one.
I got the flippers. I
talked to a guy at a truck stop that said I could do this all day.
It's just a soft top, and if you back it on number 1 on the flippers, no problem, right?
Perfect. Yeah, we could get a motorcycle and a golf. I could put a motorcycle inside of a golf cart in the back of a long bed. Hey.
Wow. This is where you get your car shipping business.
All right, so we got Daulet. Daulet is a dispatcher and a broker.
Okay. Which we know some dispatcher brokers, right?
There aren't many. It's a rare sighting. Dispatcher and broker. Like, if you tell people that, oh my gosh, it's not great. If you tell people you're both, it's like, I don't know. It's like cutting the cheese in an elevator.
Ooh, we don't do that here.
Because it's a misunderstood niche.
Well, there's a lot of opportunity there, honestly.
There's a ton. Exactly. Yeah. There's a ton of opportunity. But they immediately assume. It's like saying you're in crypto. What do they think?
Ooh.
Right?
What?
He's a dispatcher, a broker, and he's into crypto. Okay, that's...
Oh, boy. That's way
okay,
over
so
the top.
Daulet's like, I'm not coming on this show. All right, Daulet's up first. We also got Lloyd. He was with us Friday, the owner-operator of River City Services based out of Little Rock, Arkansas. See, I got it memorized.
Good job.
Thank you, Lloyd. After Lloyd, we're going to bring in Carlos Braxton and see what he's up to.
Oh, Carlos. I'm really excited to talk to Carlos.
Carlos update. Yeah, I got a Carlos update. And then we'll finish by bringing in Joe. And, and it's open. It's open mic live. Let me get through these other first guests, and then we're going to I'm going to put the link to this Zoom room in the live chat. If you're watching live, you say hello, tell us what's going on. So, Joe is in the caboose and hanging on. Here we go. Let's bring in Daulet. All right, Daulet is up next. So, Daulet, get your camera ready, your audio ready, because here I'm admitting you to the room. It's going to get a little noisy. It's going to get a little crazy.
While you're bringing him in, that's fine. Joe, okay, it's really cool. You remember last week, Wendy Delta?
Yeah, Wendy, yeah.
I talked to her.
Oh, good.
So anyway, really cool. But just seeing these connections come together is really neat. So,
it is amazing. You know what?
I thought of Joe. When I talked to Wendy, I was thinking of Joe the whole time.
And I just want to say this is that, hey, Daulet, can you see us and hear us okay? It's the connections that are made on this channel that kind of rejuvenate my optimism.
Yes, I hear you now.
All right, cool. We can see you. We can hear you. All right, Daulet, please say hello. Tell us a little bit more about you and the whole dispatcher broker thing.
Sure. Hey, everyone. Everyone who's listening and watching for us. My name is Daulet. I'm originally from Kazakhstan. I'm living in the United States for 12 years now, and I'm being a truck dispatcher, specifically car hauling dispatcher, for the last 8 years. So, and I am the broker. I'm taking the brokerage side for the last 2 years, like more specifically year and 6 months, more in details. So I'm pretty much all in this industry, let's say.
See, and Sue, my co-host on Thursdays, is also a broker and dispatcher.
Cool.
So this is an area. Now, explain why both, right? Why both?
Because I mean, I see the privilege for myself, and when I began as a dispatcher, I didn't even think about brokerage. I thought it's totally different niche, totally different like category, which I'm now getting understanding. It is a little bit different, but at the same time, when you get both, you're kind of have more leverage in the industry, you know. So you're kind of getting more of a more of a direct loads. That's how I started my brokerage. I thought, why do I need brokers when I can get my own loads and give to my own drivers, right?
And you have a broker's license.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Okay. So he's got a broker's license, legit, ready to go. Dispatching doesn't require a license. But
no, it doesn't.
Right, it does not. And this is what I was talking about earlier. Daulet, did you know that the FMCSA is looking at the definition of dispatching? Did you know that?
Yes, it was, there was a rumor, I think, right, last year, like about 6-8 months ago. Then everyone was kind of hyping on it, saying that dispatchers has to get them the licenses. And I see why people do that, because a lot of carriers, they meet a lot of non-professional dispatchers. And of course, you don't want to have, let's say, not professional, shitty dispatchers on the market, and you want to deal only with the good ones, with the licensed ones, right?
You're mostly dispatching right now, right?
Yes.
Right, as you try to build a brokerage.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense to me. You're right, because you've got, and when as you do this, so how many do you have? Do you have a stable of carriers built up, or?
Yes, right now I have 3 carrier companies with the 12 trucks in total, and I have the team of 3 dispatchers and 1 helper now.
Wow! Wait a minute, you got 12 trucks across 3 trucks. Companies?
Yes.
And you have other dispatchers helping out?
Yes, I have 1 dispatcher who had an experience and
building
came
a business.
My team. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so this is interesting. See, and it's not. I like Ty. You said it earlier. I'm going to pass this over to you here. I just wanted to kind of get the intro going. But Ty, you said to the guy that called in and said, "Should I be a broker or a carrier?" Be the carrier, right? Now, Daulet, you chose to. Have you ever driven or loaded a truck?
Not myself, no.
Right. Me neither. Right? I mean, so there's probably plenty of folks. Here's what's interesting. There's probably plenty of folks that are flying around talking to clients all the time and quoting and building business that have never even been in a truck.
That's funny, because one of the most viral videos I made on TikTok was me telling that you don't have to be a former truck driver to become a good dispatcher, right? And I got a lot of hates and negativity on it. So.
I bet.
Dispatchers? Oh.
Oh boy,
Worse than
dispatchers
Darth
trying
Vader.
to tell me how to drive my truck? Oh. You want me to come over there and have a little talk to you? Want a knuckle sandwich? No, that's well, here's the thing. I don't think there's a right answer. Okay, so the question is what do you think? With the emphasis on you, meaning Ty.
I will take it to different perspective, different side, because I'm neither. I'm in between now. So I was a part of the carrier team as a dispatcher, as the accountant, as a safety manager, as the manager of the company. Generally, I was leading entire carrier team. With the trucks, dispatchers, and stuff. And then with all of my experience and what I see, what the owner of the company I worked for was going through, I decided why not to go just to the niche part of this whole carrier thing, right? Just become a dispatching service. I mean, it doesn't mean that I have to be dispatcher whole, entire 20, 30 years from now. I can build a team and I can, give them the knowledge. I can train them and let them do the work for me, right? And I built my own technology, you can say, because I see why carriers and drivers specifically used to like working with me directly, because I mean, I care about them, right? I care about them a lot, and that's how they why they wanted to work with me. And so that's why I became a dispatcher. And when the question was if carrier or the broker, I would say it depends on your skill set. You know, if you are more likely of salesperson, you can negotiate, you can talk to the customers, and you want to do that, then I think brokerage is yours. But if you want to be more of a I don't want to deal directly with the customers, don't want to do any sales things, I just want to do the carrier side. I mean, it just depends on your skill set, I think.
Right, skill set. That's right. If you've been good on the farm for 30, 40 years, and you can get under a hood and fix anything, you should be a carrier.
Sure.
If you're amazing on the phone, and you do understand the complexity of logistics, maybe be a broker. And if you really want like helping carriers, and you're really good at sniffing out a good load, whether it's from a client or a load board, you might be a great dispatcher. So this is where I do think, hey, Facebook, here's what I think. It's 2023 and we have yet to realize that different people are good at different things. Can you No. Different people are good at different things? Oh my God.
And I want to add one more option for those three that you added. Or if you are a good entrepreneur, then you can become all three, right? You can just hire the team of dispatchers, carriers, and the brokers.
This is what Ty's talking about. Exactly. If you're ready to really take it all on, and you're good at the books, you're good at lawyering, right? You got to be good at everything if you're gonna go global as a carrier. Hey, Facebook. Right, I'll tell you what. Okay, let's do this. Let's check in. Let's bring in Lloyd. Let's bring Lloyd in. Lloyd, get your camera ready. And hey, live chat. Here comes Lloyd. We're talking to Daulet, and get your notes ready. Get your comments ready because you could be next. All right, Lloyd. Let's see what's going on. He has been on the show before. Oh, he's not. Wait a minute. He's not. Oh, he's not in the waiting room. He was there? Where did he go? Let's check in with Carlos. All right, Carlos, get your camera ready. He probably had to, yeah. They probably shower 32, and then he was like, dang it. Okay, so welcome to being an auto transport business owner. All right, here we go. Carlos, get your camera ready. It is now time. He's been here before. It's been a while. We're going to check in with Carlos Braxton of ACB Logistics. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Is this? I'll just put it right there. That way I don't want it there. All right, here we go. Oh, he's not here yet? Oh, he's joining in. Okay, he'll be here in a second. So,
I'm right here.
Oh, he's here. Carlos. Okay, we can hear you. Okay, we can't see you. What's going on, Carlos?
Nothing much. How are you all?
Good. Last time we were talking to you, it's been fair. I told Jay, we got to get Carlos on here because I've lost track of you, man. Where are you at? What are you doing?
I'm in Charlotte right now.
Charlotte. Well, last time I think, didn't you buy the new truck and it broke?
Yeah, that truck's been a pain in my
shop. And what was it? What kind of truck?
It's an M2 business class.
You bought an M2 business class and it's been a pain in your butt?
Yes.
No way. What happened?
Really?
It's not set up for what I do. I didn't think about it when I bought it. It's not set up for a local type deal, doing stuff, not running the interstate. It's terrible on fuel mileage.
Oh no, I didn't know that because to me it sounds like a beer truck, and that's what I was telling everybody gets a beer truck. Is it single axle or twin screw?
It's single. It was a bucket truck.
Bucket. What's a bucket? Bucket truck. Bucket.
Like the power companies use?
Yeah. So It's got a long wheelbase.
Yes.
Ah, there's your problem. Okay, gotcha. All right. So that truck's giving you problems, but it's not mechanical. It's just too long.
This is hard on fuel.
Hard on fuel. What do you got in there? The Cummins?
Triple. Huh?
Or you got the Cummins or the Mercedes in there?
Oh no Mercedes, Cummins.
Cummins. You got the Cummins. What is it? The 783. 8.3. Okay.
Yes.
Automatic.
Yes.
Oh wow. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's bad. But you did also, didn't you get the Sun Country?
No, I have an Infinity.
Infinity. How many can you haul?
5.
5 on the Infinity. Didn't you like it?
I love the trailer. Yes.
Love the trailer, having troubles with the truck. But before you got into the Freightliner M2 with the Cummins, you were in a what?
A Ram 5500.
And I think, how did that work out?
It did not like my new trailer. It blew the engine.
We're only laughing because otherwise we're just going to be crying. Okay, guys, this is car hauling live right here. So the Dodge, what did you say it was? 5500?
Yes.
Dodge blew up. Went ahead and got the Infinity. But now, did you have the? Hey, there's Carlos. Hey, Carlos.
Oh.
Hey, buddy.
What's going on? Awesome.
Charlotte.
Oh, I meant to hit the applause button.
Come on, Jay. Come on, man.
You know, I've been off on the buttons all night. I don't know if they moved around or what. I'm hitting
Where's the love, Jay?
Cash registers.
Wow.
Carlos.
That's crazy.
Sorry, Carlos. Happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you.
Carlos, so you, where'd you say you're Charlottesville, North Carolina?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yes.
Okay. You're home tonight?
Oh, yeah. I'm home.
Okay.
I don't go out on the road anymore.
What?
I don't go out on the road. I do North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Virginia. Now that's it.
Yeah, so you're a short mile, long dollar kind of guy, right?
Short mile, short dollar right now.
Why?
They're not paying anything.
Really? And now where are you getting your loads?
United Road off of, the dispatch people.
This is a bad question. I'm going to ask it. You don't have to answer, but how are your receivables with United Road?
What do you mean by receivables?
Are they paying you on time?
Yes.
Okay.
Within 2 days.
Good. Within 2 days, quick pay.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
good.
awesome.
5%.
Yeah.
Nice.
How many percent?
5% they're charging? Yeah, they're taking 5% off the top.
Yep.
5%
Oh.
and something like $1.75.
Where's that button I hit her?
That's a boo right there, Jay.
Okay, all right. Okay. Hey, Carlos said it.
Is that Spider-Man?
I'll take the blame. That's fine.
Okay, so you're running broker, then that's keeping you busy. Is that a fair statement?
Not really busy because, like I said, they're not paying anything. They'll pay real good. All of a sudden, they'll cut the prices in half. I'm like, I can't do that, so I do something else. It pays more to run IAA and Copart stuff than it does to run anything else.
Interesting. Wow. I want to hear more. Are they crazy in ops or is it okay?
No, they're in ops.
They are.
Yeah.
Forklift,
of course. You know how they say run and drive, but you get there and the wheels are hanging off.
Start and lurch.
Yeah. So I've got a question. I had 3 phone calls say. One of the phone calls was, and I was like, hey, if I was going to start and I lived in a metro area and I knew there was, because they kept saying in-ops. They actually said the word Copart, but I said, okay, if you're going to you want to get into car hauling, my advice, first do market research, go talk to everybody and find out what they're doing. But I would seriously look at Copart IAA if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But I would look at it from the perspective of a rollback, maybe a 2 or 4 car rollback. Now, The question I have that I don't know is if I have a 2 or 4 car rollback, can I just go in and get my own stuff and I don't have to wait on the forklift?
No, you got to wait for the forklift.
No matter what?
No matter what.
Wow. Okay, well, that stinks. I'm glad you clarified that for me because I think everybody that I talk to, you can tell us because it sounds like you're doing it, but how's it working out with the forklift guy?
Depends on the forklift guy because you got to watch them. They will tear your trailer to pieces.
Oh, didn't even think about that.
I've heard that. And you don't have a choice.
Nope.
Right? How do you gauge the skill of a forklift guy and will it even matter?
You watch him when he loads somebody else. Whoever he's loading before he loads you, you just keep an eye on him and watch what he does.
What if you don't what if you decide this guy isn't working. You know, this isn't.
It's much. Isn't really much you can do because they're like, well, if we don't load you, nobody else is going to do it.
You just step to the side and record it?
For the most part, yes.
Wow. Now the Infinity, you got an Infinity 4 car, is that what you said?
5.
Does it have a hydraulic on the front?
Yes, it looks just like this looks like the
Sun Country.
Sun Country, but it's an Infinity.
Okay. So when you're running that, it's more level. Whereas if you've got a wedge, I would not, honestly, I wouldn't want to be the forklift guy putting cars on a wedge because it's got a wedge, right? And the forks are straight. So you're like, here, let me just rake off the top of your trailer.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
And now IAA won't even, like, if you set your loads up so you know which way you're going to deliver. If you have a car on the top and one on the bottom, they won't load in the middle.
Oh boy.
If the middle's empty, they won't do it.
Why?
I don't know. They changed their policy. They won't do it anymore.
So, all right. Well, this gets into insurance and
this
claims
is terrible.
and whatnot.
No.
But yeah.
Why can't, if you got a rollback, see, this is what bothers me. If you have a rollback, why can't you just pull in, get your stuff and leave? That's insane. I mean, that to me is like the gatekeeper that's just here to make your life
because there was some buyer that complained that he wanted IAA. Well, IAA was responsible for the damage, and therefore IAA probably requires the forklift. It's just like when you leave the hospital and they put you in the wheelchair. I could run out the front doors, but they're going to put you in the wheelchair.
And also, you got to check to make sure the catalytic converter's there too before you leave out of there.
Wow. See, I always learn something on this show. That's why I like ATI, because I seriously always learn something. The catalytic converter I would not have thought of. So it's interesting because I've always said, man, I don't care. I'm not doing in-ops. I am not doing them. And then we hear Carlos, who's not necessarily an in-op guy. Am I right?
That's right. I don't like him. I hate him.
But now he's doing in-ops for a reason.
Tells you something about the market, doesn't it?
Yeah. Where are you taking these in-ops? To salvage yards or dealers, repair guys?
Sometimes you go to repair guys. Mostly you go down, take them down to Savannah to the shippers. They ship them overseas.
Right. That's now we're at the port.
Now we're back to the port party.
Oh my God.
You take them you don't go to the port. You take them to this off-site.
A warehouse.
They load everything in the containers, then they take the containers to the port. Right. I don't go to the port.
Yeah, exactly. Brunswick?
Right.
Not Brunswick, but down in Savannah, you have Jack's, and then you have Global, something else. I can't think of the name of them. It's like 4 or 5 of them in that area.
What did you say, Daulet?
Baltic auto shipping there as well?
Yeah, Baltic, yes.
Oh, wow.
See, and I like that, Daulet, because you know the names of the folks that are posting these loads on Central, right?
Yes.
This is where it gets really interesting. This is why it takes a village, right? Because if you have the carrier, dispatcher, driver, everybody's talking, it's amazing the pieces you can put together.
Yep. You got to watch out for some of these guys, too, because some of them don't pay any money. There's one company, they won't pay anything. They try to pay you $175 to $200 for a car that's going almost 300 miles. It doesn't work. And then
I'm sorry, and when you try to negotiate, what happens? Does it seem like they have a script and all that?
Yep. They won't raise the price at all. We can get somebody else to do it all day long for this price, but you better find somebody because I won't touch it.
Wow. And there's where the hate begins, Daulet. Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Right, good job, buddy. Oh.
But it's not a broker or dispatcher.
Hey, it's
an actual company.
Yeah.
Say that, Carlos. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's not a dispatcher or a broker. It's the actual company.
So is it the actual company? Is it a foreign buyer?
Yes.
The actual warehouse people?
No. You're missing. This is what Candy's talking about. Remember our last 2 shows?
Are they overseas? Are you talking to somebody overseas?
Yeah.
Sometimes, but most times they're either based in Florida or somewhere like that. They're not based in the area.
So are they import-exporter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Send me your company name. Text me your company name.
Say again?
Do they say, do you know, text me your company name? You know that one, Daulet, right?
Yeah.
Whenever I heard, if I called about a load and they say, text me your company name, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
I'm gonna look for something else.
Yeah, usually wait for it.
Usually, I don't like that. I don't like being brushed off to. I can't even ask any questions. Text me your company name. All right, hey, let's do this. We're gonna add Lloyd. Let's keep this going. I'm gonna add Lloyd, and then so stay right there. Wait a minute. Here we go. All right, Lloyd, fire up your camera. And everybody get your popcorn ready. We got Lloyd Vanover. He is the owner-operator of River City Services out of Little Rock, Arkansas. And he's joining right now. While he's joining, so I like that microcosm example. That microcosm example. I mean, we rent you Brunswick. You knew the broker. What's another run you're doing, Carlos?
I go to rail yard in Georgia a lot, in Decula.
What do you get there?
GM stuff.
Decula?
Yeah, Decula is right by Lawrenceville.
Hey, there's Lloyd.
Oh, Lloyd's here?
Lawrenceville? What'd you say?
Lawrenceville, yeah. It's right next to Lawrenceville. It's about 45 miles before you get to Atlanta.
Well, and that just made me think, because Lloyd was talking about in-ops recently, too. Lloyd, please say hello. You can see us and hear us.
Hello, everybody.
Lloyd, we're talking about
Lloyd.
Runs. What's, not the runs, car hauling runs. Lloyd, what's going on with you? What's on your mind?
Oh, boy.
This is Auto Logistics Unfiltered.
We are unfiltered tonight, Jay. Lloyd, good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you, man.
Here we go. I'm trying to trouble with my computer here. Oh, no, I just was interested in listening to Carlos. Hi, Carlos.
Hey, Lloyd, how are you?
When you broke down, you sent me a picture of your new rig, your setup and stuff. Sorry to hear it didn't work out as far as the M2 goes. Yeah, you talk about going down south. I don't go south, Georgia, South Texas, Florida, down south like that. I just no, because the rates are just too daggum cheap.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I'm more of the deal with my customers, my customer base, and develop that relationship. So I'm glad I don't have to compete with a lot of this stuff that's going on right now. There's plenty of carriers out there, and they'll holler for the lower rate, and that kind of customer, I don't really need. I don't deal with the cheap guys.
Perfect segue. If you just said, "Hey, Facebook, what do you think you're loading next? What's going to be your next load? Your first load?"
My next load, a brand new vehicle to a customer delivery.
Right. It'll be a brand new car that's paying half what it should be paying, and it shouldn't be open.
No, not mine. Mine pays both ways, no matter what.
Oh, that's awesome.
I try and educate my customers, my dealers especially, because there are so many guys out here doing this, and they want to get in and get here. I'll do it for cheaper. I'll do it for this. I'll do it for that. So my customer, my dealers, they know they're going to ask you for your DOT certification, your certificate of authority, and see if it's got automobiles checked on it. They're going to ask for your certificate of insurance or your cargo, and see if you're covered for auto transport. You're going to cover the cost of the car. I got a $200,000 Audi or Acuron, are you insured for it? And another thing I educate my dealers on is I show them on my truck. Look here, the customer pulls in, or your transporter pulls in, and he doesn't have this little sticker in the lower right-hand corner of his windshield. Tell him, something changed. That CVSA sticker means a lot. It goes a long ways. You got to work hard to get it. And so they've dealt with the damaged cars and stuff. I have dealers that call me and say, "Hey, can you transport my car for me?" And now I've got them to where they'll pay me for out of the auto ports. They say, "Here, you go get my cars out of the auto port. I'll pay you $150, $200 over and above your normal rate just to get the car." And they pay me the deadhead to go get it, and they pay me to go bring it to them. But the biggest thing is when I get it to them, it's ready to go straight to the customer, or when I take it to the customer, they know it's going to get there in the same condition it was when it left their lot. The customer's going to be happy. And I pick up the check from the customer, I have the customer sign all the paperwork. It's a little bit different niche. but it's been at it for a long enough time that customer service goes a long ways. And I believe you get what you pay for, and so I consider myself fortunate that I'm able to do what I do and have the customer base that I have. And my phone rings all the time. Hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that? And so I don't have to deal with these brokers. If I want to fill a hole, I'll fill a hole with this right. But I haul Copart, but mine go to LKQ, which is a dismantler. They dismantle it for parts, for aftermarket parts. Right. And like Carlos said, and I've said it before on the show, when you've got these wrecked cars coming out of IAA and Copart paying more than what they want to pay to get a brand new one out of the auto port, I'll haul wrecked cars all day long. I don't have to worry about that scratch and dent. Look, there's not a piece of glass hitting this thing. But Carlos is right again. The forklift operators. No, you don't do it that way. You don't want to do it my way. I'm out of here. I'm not going to let you tear up my trailer. And it's just not worth it.
As far as I know, you're not responsible for any damages they cause while loading, right?
But they care less. Like Carl said, I want you to put it right here in this spot of my trailer. And they tell you no. A lot of them won't load from the side.
Nope, they sure won't.
They can't do it from front or back. Yeah, they're not going to load you from the side. And so it can be a real hassle just to get loaded and get out of there. And like he says, they call you and say, hey, they say it runs and drives. Then you get there and send them a picture. Hey, look, I don't think this is going to run. The motor's hanging out of it, the transmission's hanging out of it,
The whole front is missing.
Yeah.
Well, that's another interesting topic that we don't need to talk about tonight, but through my relationship with Candy and Ron, the foreign buyers that are buying this stuff are buying online. And they look at what I think they're buying. And then once they figure out this isn't at all what I bought, there's some kind of misrepresentation issue that seems to be a big problem. Has anybody else encountered that?
Yes, a lot.
You drop off a car where you thought, I just picked it up and dropped it off. Why are you yelling at me? Well, I didn't say that it had this and this and this, Carlos.
That's right. But I take pictures when I get there, before they're loaded, they sit it by my trailer. I take pictures all the way around and inside. This is what it looked like when I picked it up. So that's between you and Copart or IAA. That has nothing to do with me.
Daulet, you're shaking your head like you've dealt with this.
No, I just do a lot of Coparts and IAAs as well. I have few drivers doing certain routes for years. And the thing that I wanted to tell about Coparts and IAAs and forklift operators is it depends, as Carlos said, because one of my drivers, he goes to Milwaukee Coparts all the time and IAAs. And he knows like every single thing, forklift operator in each of those auctions. And every time he goes there, he just tips them, it could be $10, can be 20, can be 30, depends on how many cars he can load for you. And sometimes, not all of them, they don't have to do it, but sometimes if you're good with them, you have good conversation, you tip them, they can do something extra they usually don't do, by their policies, like loading by the side or lifting the back of the car and rolling in front. That's how we do. My driver, he loads 7 in-up cars. Not all of them. All of them should have wheels for sure, all 4 wheels, but all of them can be in-up, and he can load 4 on top, 2 in the bottom, and at least one of them should be running. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a friend that does the same thing. He chips the drive. He has their phone numbers and everything. So if he's going to be late, he'll call them and they'll hold the car for him. When he get there loaded, he gives them a $10 bill. He's out.
Making relationships. There it is again.
There it is.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said about this show, and that's one thing I really like about ATI is I call it. I say this is our network. This is a network of, and Ty said a while ago, of good carriers, good people that's on this show trying to help each other and just grow and learn. And I really appreciate what you guys do. I appreciate the program. Just kind of Jay kind of laughing about, hey, Facebook. I've had 2 incidences this week to where I'm also a U-Haul dealer. I have a U-Haul dealership. I had a gentleman call me wanting to rent a gooseneck 5th wheel hitch. I said, sorry, but U-Haul doesn't rent those things out. But you get to talking to him, the reason why he's wanting it, come to find out, he's just getting into the hot shot business. Been a truck driver for 14 years. Now I want to get into the big money and hot shot. And I said, well, what do you need the fifth wheel hitch for? Well, a broker told me, you know, he's got this trailer, but I have to have a fifth wheel to move this trailer. I said, what kind of trailer is it? And he said, it's a 40-foot logging trailer. I said, what kind of truck do you have? I got a 3/4 ton Ram.
Not going to do it.
And I said, have you seen a picture of this? He goes, no. I said, well, I won't send you a picture. Well, it was a semi 40-foot logging trailer. And he said, this guy's going to try and haul it on the back of his Ram pickup truck. I couldn't believe it.
With air brakes?
Whoa.
Well, I brought that up. I said, air brakes. Well, a few days later, he sends me a picture. He's having trouble connecting a trailer to his truck to get lights and that sort of thing. He's got a 40-foot tandem axle dual wheel equipment trailer with a pinto hitch that these construction guys use, you know, behind their dump trucks. And it's got a mini excavator on it, and he's got it hooked to the back of his 2500.
Oh.
It's squatting like it's got King Kong standing in the back of it.
Oh.
And he can't get lights on it, and he's hauling it to Corpus Christi, Texas.
Oh. The brakes will stop for sure.
That's because the wiring is a little different on those trails than ours.
Brakes are cammed, so there's no brakes on the trailer.
Oh.
And so this is why our insurance is going through the roof, because it's that way it is. And so I asked him, I said, what is your truck rated or licensed and registered for to haul 14,000 pounds? I can haul 14,000 pounds. Not because your truck's registered for 14,000 pounds does not mean you can haul 14,000 pounds.
Oh, man.
And so there's so many people wanting to get into this for the big bucks. As they say, big bucks, because they really don't know what the cost is. And this afternoon, I'm getting fuel, 3/4 ton hot shot with a 45-foot gooseneck pulls up to the fuel line next to me. And I couldn't resist, had to ask, because it was loaded. I said, do you mind telling me what your truck is registered for overall, your gross vehicle weight? I don't know. I can haul 16,000 pounds. I can haul 16,000 pounds. And I just shook my head. You know, these guys don't know. And this is why all of this FMCSA and these regs, all these different things, because this is what's out there on the road, guys. This is why it's so dangerous out there. And so this network, this ATI, is just a good learning block. You know, Lionel, I haven't seen Lionel or heard Lionel in a while. Lawrence, you know, these guys. So yeah, there's a lot of good people on here and trying to do a lot of good and help everybody learn and get better at it. And overall, make money.
Stay alive.
Support your family, you know, and make a living. But I currently run 3 trucks, 1 hot shot, 2 semis. You saw my 5-car Friday when I was on the show with Ty and stuff. But it's all about customer service. You got to have the customer service.
Yeah, that's good info, man.
Yeah, that was really good.
Hey, Jay, I sent you a picture of my truck and trailer.
I got it. Yeah, let's take a look at it here.
And Silvermint, you're right, but the gears are too high in that truck. It needs to be changed.
What's too high?
The gearing in the truck in the rear end is too high.
Yeah,
It's got a 478 rear gear in it.
Long. They call that long legs.
Yeah.
You got long legs. Well, that's not too long of a wheelbase.
It's pretty long.
You think?
It's 233.
Oh, okay.
But that size truck is long.
I really like that Infiniti. I haven't seen the Infiniti. Zoom out just a hair there, Jay.
Yeah, this is now this is Sue's favorite trailer.
Sue loves the Infiniti. We need to do a time.
More than the Sun Country.
Oh boy, I can't believe Sue said that.
Yeah.
I do like the extended cab there, Carlos. That's got to be nice for you, right?
Yes, it was good to sleep in.
Was that hard to find?
Yes, that truck I have right there with the way it's equipped is very hard to find.
Yeah, the extra cab's really tricky. I know.
Yeah, because it's got power windows, door locks. It's got a PTO on the transmission, which I don't need. It's got air rides. It's got the raised roof in it, the flat raised roof in it, so you can stand up in the truck. I'm not that tall, so.
So I guess what you're saying is over time, maybe it won't be that long, you're going to change out the truck for a different truck.
Right.
Will it be hard to unload that truck?
I've had it up for sale for a while. Nobody's buying anything right now. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah. It's the market. It's not the truck.
Right. It's the market.
It has the power. It has the power you need, right?
No.
Fuel mileage. No power.
So no power.
Wheelbase, power. Are there other issues that it doesn't work for this combo?
Lloyd, what's the problem here? What am I missing? Because this is now. If I'm telling everybody to get this truck and it doesn't work, what's the problem?
Well,
what am I missing?
The M2's got the smaller engine, but like he was saying, the gearing being inappropriate gearing for it, and pulling that heavy of a load. Sometimes those things are just designed for like 30, 35, maybe 40,000 pounds.
Huh.
This one's 33.
60, 70.
Wow. That's crazy.
So he said had a box on the back of it, so.
You know who likes to talk about this stuff is Joe. Where's Joe?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, let's here we go. Let's go to camera 1. All right, Joe, crank up the volume. Here we go. Here comes Joe Bercari. What are we doing here?
Do you have
kind of show you running here, Jay? Hey, by the way, that's right. Thank you so much, Kevin. Let's not hit the wrong button on this one. Thank you so much for making martinis in the super chat. Happy New Year, Kevin Parada. Thank you so much for your participation recently on this channel. And let's see. Joe, can you see us and hear us? Joe Bercari.
It works.
Hey, what's happening?
How are you?
Good.
Good.
What's all right, so you've been here, you've seen conversation and witnessed hijinks. What's on your mind?
Welcome to 2023. Let's all hope it's a better year than 2022 was.
Hey, how about any topics or industry news that grabbed your attention?
Oh my gosh. Well, the one you put up before on URS is really interesting, and with respect to their debt funding and that, I'm not suggesting that I know anything about it. I'm a spectator just like everybody else is, I guess. But it's interesting if you do a little research and you take a look at what happened to companies in the past who had similar situations with their debt structures and what happened to them, then that could be a very, very interesting article to read. Let's just say it that way. And again, I don't have any intimate knowledge of this at all. It's just as a person that's watched this industry for 25 plus years now, that's kind of a, I don't know, I'd be a little concerned. And that's a huge company too.
Did you find it interesting that was a Freightwaves article?
No.
You didn't?
No. You are. That company is very large. They're I think they're the largest dedicated automotive relocation company in the country at this time. Whether you're talking new OEM or auction or any they're the dominant player. So I would say no. I'm not surprised that that's in Freightwaves at all. No. Actually, I was kind of chuckling at what Ty said when he said, how the receivables coming, because that's usually things kind of go hand in hand.
Well, interesting
question.
And the fact Daulet spat out 5%. I mean, see, this is where it gets really interesting. This is why I believe dispatchers can help, because dispatchers are tuned into these percentages. Don't you hate it, Daulet? Don't you hate to see a carrier has to pay to get their money?
I mean, that's not fair. I mean, I have a whole topic to say about this. I mean, this is not something. I'm sure they're getting their payments on time, right? And you have an option of getting 30 days. Obviously, no one's waiting 30 days. Or you have 2 days, like 5%, 6%. It becomes with 2-3%. I mean, I was okay with that. Now, like 5 and 6 became a normality with a lot of big companies, RPM, like United Road, and so on, so on. Like
Oh yeah. What'd you say?
Assertus.
See, that's the one that comes to my mind. I'm sorry.
Well, so that's I'm going to say this. Just a comment to make there. Keep in mind also, you're also watching the cost of money increase because interest rates are increasing, and so you gotta
I know.
Really zoom out of this and look at kind of the broader picture, because when you're trying to get faster pay, it's because the standard contract for whoever is actually the paying user is 30 to 45 days away, or sometimes longer than that. So that's where that cost of money comes into the scenario. And I think that's something that's kind of, I mean, I don't have a particular opinion on it myself, what the percentage is. I'm not sure I would be able to tell you what Midwestern's percentages are if I were to be challenged to do so at the minute. But
well, this is what I thank you, Joe, because I understand. I agree. I know the complexity. And what's one of those companies that just got mentioned is going to say, yeah, well, we don't get paid for 6 months.
Yeah.
And I get that.
Yeah.
This is why, but we're at such thin margins already that every chicken nugget counts.
Well, so something I think Lloyd hit on a lot, and, is something that gets repeated often on this channel, is the comment of, understanding the business and what it costs to do this job, and, pricing and rating the business so that way you can turn a fair profit, not an egregious profit, not a gouging profit, but a fair profit is something that, is really important to do. There's not enough people that really do understand, in my opinion, how pricing works and, the dynamic nature of the market. And that's because it's very, very complicated. You're especially as you get into larger fleets and how insurance works and, employees and workers' compensation and, all of that other stuff. That stuff, it's not something that you just pull out of your back pocket with the calculator and go, all right, well, let's see, 2,500 ought to do it. That's not how that works anymore. This is in this world. Everybody's a genius with the phone and a calculator anymore. So you have to be able to really understand, what the business takes to be able to make a fair profit, price accordingly, and there's a lot of people out there that don't, and it's sad because it drags things backwards. In fact, if there's one thing that I see on Facebook more often than, hey, Facebook, I'm new, it's someone griping about, look at this load. It goes from, East Fangui to West Jabib. Who could do this for $1.87? Good Lord.
I have seen that one. We got to get somebody on this. We need to get like a researcher to quantify and give us a pie chart of the types of Facebook posts. So you've got equipment. I'm selling my equipment.
Yeah.
You've got can you believe this? Then you've got, let's see, dispatchers suck. I'm sure that's one of them. Have you seen how much hate dispatchers get on Facebook? It's inordinate. Is that a word?
Yeah, see, I started in dispatch. I've done every discipline in the new OEM business. So my feelings, they were trampled and destroyed long ago. I'm immune to all of those
That's why
things.
pessimism works. That's it. Nailed it. Yeah. Hey, here's what I want to do. While we're here and having fun. Okay, I'm gonna copy the invite link. I don't do live call-in shows, but I just shared the Zoom link. Oops. Wait a minute. What?
The link to his webcam at home.
I just exactly. I just shared the security link.
Whoops.
That's not the right.
Come on, Jay. Come on, man.
Jay. All right, there's the link. I think if you click that, I think you can join us.
All of us put our suspenders on, lean forward like Larry King, and we're here. Hello. What?
Right.
Hello.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna give your best Larry King. So yeah,
Well,
So
while we're doing that,
yeah.
I want Joe's insight on this truck. Now I'm just really bothered with this whole truck deal. Joe, what's the problem here?
On what?
Carlos's truck. He says it doesn't have any power and it gets bad fuel mileage.
Oh, I'm the wrong guy for that. That's
what?
Randy.
Randy, where's Randy?
Oh,
Randy, hit the live Zing.
Yeah, Randy needs to join us live. Randy,
Come on,
click
Randy.
the link.
You can just call. No video, Randy. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. You can. Oh, that's right. Here, let's try that too. Let's do. Yeah. Do I have the full? Let's see here. Hang on. Let me get that off screen. Okay, so if
Come
I go
aboard.
to,
Tell us what you think.
Yeah, let me put up a
Call in
phone
live.
number here. Okay, so
Sky Hallman call in too. Sky's always got a good car hauler story. Come on, Sky.
and this is maybe more information than you need, but there's the meeting ID, the passcode, and you can hit. I think you can click that 301 number and call in. All right. So Randy's invited officially. That would be great.
Randy would definitely know. I thought Joe would, but definitely I know Randy would.
No, that's Randy's domain.
Well, and this is where equipment is. I mean, it's like the trucking law stuff. It's a whole discipline of information.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Randy really knows this stuff, too. Joe, while we got you, I've really been missing you. Think about you all the time, but we're talking about the OEM stuff in the production. What are you seeing? What are you hearing out there, if you don't mind?
Yeah, I would say that optimism varies. Probably the conservative viewpoint is that new OEM production is going to be around 14.2 million for 2023. The prevailing feedback that I'm getting from most of the manufacturers that I do business with is that the supply chain issues that they dealt with in 2022 are more or less going to persist through 2023. It's probably going to change, though. That is to say, whereas once it was really heavily focused on chips, and then towards the tail end of 2022, we saw it sort of drift away from chips and into just standard parts and whatever. There was one news story about how in Kansas City they ran out of Ford emblems, for example. I think you're going to see a lot of that, and I think also too. We're seeing a lot of parts shortages as it relates to the trucks, and I think that you're going to start seeing that impact as well. Tires, lubricants, those kinds of things, oil products. We're already feeling the pinch of that to some extent on our side. I think you'll start to see more of that throughout the rest of the industry, and I think what that's going to do, I don't think anyone is ever going to not get, fluid or oil or whatever, but the demand of it will increase, and so the cost of it will increase accordingly. I did an analysis fairly recently, and we just, again, extremely high level, but we're talking about pricing before. The analysis that I did showed that the cost of parts year over year from 2021 to calendar 2022 increased on average 20%. Which is a mind-boggling thing. When you take that in conjunction with the delays of new parts because of the shortages, national back orders, high demand of parts, especially on new OEM manufacturer equipment for warranty and things like that, where, well, we only have 300 of them. They're all in the Western region. We'll try and ship some out to, where your truck is in wherever place. The lost production in conjunction with the higher expensive parts is going to be a real problem, a real challenge for 2023.
Man, that's really cool. That's one of the things I really like about you, is to take that and tear it down and make it into something that you just said, which is really cool, because this is another thing that people maybe don't think about all the time, right? The cost to keep these things running.
Think about for a minute, if you were to go to your largest customer and say, I'm going to have to increase my cost by 20% effective next month. That would be, in the best case, an extremely uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah.
Best case.
Whoa.
Man. Yeah. So, hey, Jay, you want another $20 on that? 25 chicken nugget?
Oh, man. Yeah, dude. No. And that's 20%,
Right.
which can be gnarly. Because
Yes.
that's not even fixed. Nobody likes hearing an open-ended number, let alone an increase.
I pulled up to a fuel pump the other day and I looked at the price on the pump. I was sitting there messing with the app on my phone, and I looked back at the pump and it went up 15 cents a gallon just while I was sitting there at the pump before I ever turned it on.
Wow.
Hit the button now before it goes anywhere.
Wow.
Exactly.
Gee. Well, there is some speculation that fuel's back up on the uptick. Has anybody heard that one yet or seen it?
Yes.
It's real. Oh boy, here we go, man.
Yeah, I don't know that it's going to be as a wild ride as it was earlier in the summer, but it's trending up.
Dang, that's terrible. Okay, so Joe, last time we talked, it's been a minute. I'm happy to see you, but we were looking at trying to accumulate some more trucks, big rigs, and we were needing drivers. Where are we at now?
I think we're at 91 drivers, including owner operators.
Yes.
And just keep on keeping on. We're continuing to hire. I mean, it's we're pretty much we're in a steady state at this stage for where we're at. So we're basically at this point as we bring new people aboard, then it's for growth, which has been honestly very good. This market right now, a lot of year-end spurts have been pretty solid, and we're seeing very promising signs, at least for Midwestern, in the first quarter. Our customers, we're fortunate to be able to say that our customers have been great business partners, and they have really helped. They've been quite steady. We've definitely felt some of the interruption I mentioned before, but we've been able to stay quite busy lately.
Well, it's good to hear that, because I remember sitting at a finished vehicle logistics conference in Huntington Beach, California, and watching OEMs on the stage with normal other people. And they were actually talking about how they wanted to be a kind of a partner. They understood the problems, the demand. And I would, sitting there listening to it, I'm thinking they're all full of crap. But to hear you say, no, really, they're really working with us and they're really helping us. That's a real thing. It really happened. So I'm going to have to apologize to everybody for being a jerk. I'm sorry.
Well, during the driver shortage article, I thought of you, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to add, correct, strike?
I was just having this conversation today with somebody talking about recruiting and, what blows my mind today is the number of still, let's just say, less than honest, less than reputable employers that there are out there, not necessarily in the car haul space exclusively, but in general. I have a lot of people that come over and apply for work with us with a Class A CDL and all the credentials. And they'll have these horror stories about like how, I'll ask a question like, well, how come you're looking to move on? What is it that made you decide to make this change? Because jumping into car hauling is no small thing. This is not a business for the weak of heart. And there are so many stories of people saying, yeah, well, I was working with such and such a company and, they didn't pay right. They restricted my pay, or they told me I'd be home once a month, and then they sent me out into Saskatchewan and all this kind of stuff. And it's like the stories that you hear of these less than honorable treatment of people, it really makes me wonder how much of that is tied to the driver shortage. Well, if you treat people like crap, how long in the internet age, how long you think that's going to last?
I can concur with the idea of 110%, because here goes my U-Haul dealership and the shortage of rental vehicles. There's two carriers here close to me. They're reefer carriers, but because you can't get a rental car to go one way, then they'll come to U-Haul and they'll rent a U-Haul truck just to drive to get home. But these trucking companies rent U-Haul trucks to get these drivers to their location for orientation. Well, it's a two-way street, because the drivers will work for a while and they'll quit. They'll come back to me and rent a U-Haul truck to get home. And I had a gentleman just the other day. They would not let him get home for Thanksgiving. They would not let him get home for Christmas. And so he finally says he parked the truck. He came over and rented the truck to get home. And he hadn't been home in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And I just like, holy smokes! I hear it all the time. You know, they're quitting, you know, and why? And you know, so what Mark's saying is just.
Well, but crazy. Sorry, Lloyd, but that goes back to what I've seen firsthand. Okay, I've seen this. Midwestern car carriers, Kansas City, Missouri. You go in the corporate building, you go in the corporate office, you go in the shop. There's a culture there, and in car hauling especially. Joe, tell me if I'm wrong. In car hauling culture, it is paramount. And this is what I love about Joe. You walk through there, everybody knows Joe. Everybody's talking to Joe. Joe's talking to everybody. This isn't, I'm up here, you're down here. This is real. We all need each other, and we're all going to get through this. Right, Joe?
Yeah. And that's the number of places that I've been and the number of things that I've seen. The successful companies are the ones that push culture first and push the right cultures first. And because then what happens is you get lots of people who are of a like mind and who share your perspective and your priorities and, you know, your values. Those common values become a really, really important thing. And when you all start out on common ground, we can have 100 different viewpoints on how to solve a problem. But because we're starting on common ground, it's going to be a much more productive discussion. So to me, yeah, culture is my most important jobs is to keep, preserve, and protect and enhance the culture of the company. And you know, you take that seriously, then it'll come back to you and bite you in the back end.
To be treated like a human being and be respected. You know,
right.
Yeah. It goes a long ways.
Well, and I don't want to leave Randy out, by the way, or Ed, because I've seen Randy and Ed both in action. I just get to hang out with Joe quite a bit, but I've seen Randy, the drivers come in, talk to, I mean, I'm sitting in Randy's office, we're having a conversation, here comes drivers, hey, so there's an understanding, and this is, when I talk about culture, this is, Joe understands the job. Joe understands, I mean, Joe just said it, he's like, dude, this job will test everything you've got. But what I'm saying, where I'm going is Joe, Randy, Ed, those guys have been friends to me for over 20 years. And if you're looking to get into car hauling and you have a CDL and you've got a brain and you're not going to be dumb, I would highly recommend you talk to Joe, right? Because this is a great opportunity. Joe, what do you guys do over there? You train people.
Yeah, we train. Mm-hmm. Probably January we'll have probably 2 training classes throughout before the month is done. It kind of depends on how this goes, and I usually fill training classes anywhere between 4 and 6 people in a cycle. We've put on I think the last time I checked we were 46 drivers since the first of last year is the number of people that we've put on our roster. And I'm probably going to do that again this year, probably.
Wow, that's awesome. Wow. That's awesome. So if you want to learn car, and by the way, awesome. Midwestern car carriers, Kansas City, Missouri, we're not talking about your old ratty, man, is that thing still going down the road? I've been there. There's video of me in a brand new Midwestern truck, okay, pushing the button to engage the PTO and actually grinding it. I did it wrong, my bad. But the beautiful equipment that is ready to go, and a culture, a people group, a community that genuinely cares. So, you know, I do, Joe, by the way, Randy, you guys know this, but I get calls and somebody's kind of on the edge. I'm like, hey, let's go drive. Let's learn what we're doing. And there's people that will really care about you and really help you. And right here it is. So that's one of the things I really appreciate about you guys.
We love you. We love you, Ty. We love when you come by.
I'll be up next week, okay? We'll go do, what's that place we go, the barbecue place?
Oh, I'll take you to a different one. We'll go find some whole ball. I love it.
Okay. All right. Well, plan on it early next week. That'll be good.
I'm jealous already.
Hey, Jay, you can come.
What?
I'll come by and pick you up. Sure, buddy.
Oh, man. Let's coordinate it. That sounds awesome.
All right.
Let's
Deal.
do that.
It's on. I'll make
See?
it happen.
That's happening.
Monday. All right.
Monday? Let me
Why
check
not?
my calendar. Monday.
Oh, look at Jay. Monday. Ooh,
Monday is the 9th. Yeah.
Monday noon.
Monday.
We're coming to get you, Joe.
Dude,
Jay and I. It's
awesome. I love it.
Take that,
That's a
everybody,
great
live.
idea.
Business meeting. Well, we didn't
Dude,
ask Joe if he's
that's
available.
Right. We can swing by. We can swing by Atlanta, or no? What is it? We'll swing by Little Rock. We'll grab Lloyd. Oh, here we go. Jacob is in the live chat. What's Joe's company?
Joe?
Midwestern Car Carriers.
Midwestern Car Carriers. www.mwcci.com.
MWCCI.com. Let me grab that link. MWCCI.com. Is there a contact link on your site?
Yeah, when you go to the site, it'll take you straight to the
There's
the applications page.
Contact MWCCI. Fill out a form. Awesome. Shoot, I'm over here. You know what? Why am I off camera doing all that? Here, let's bring that. There you go, Randy. Live on ATI. There it is. MWCCI. Let's get rid of that top black bar. You can go to, I'm going to share this link in the live chat.
That's a good looking
Asking ye
truck.
shall deliver. MWCCI.com. And that is the page that I'm looking at right now. So, awesome.
Jump over to the home page.
Okay, let's go to the home page.
Okay, and then you can X that out on the bottom right, I think. Oh, no, that'll take you to
I just clicked it. Okay. So, all right, no, here it is. Okay, yeah.
That's the truck.
I think that might actually be the truck that you were messing with, Ty.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, the chop.
That's what you guys want. So anybody that saw the first picture, like, I'm not driving a Volvo, don't worry, we got Peterbilts, guys, and they are nice. Automatic, too.
Automatics. I have a couple. I have 13s floating around, but mostly automatics.
Yeah. Which it works out. And Peterbilt, every real super trucker always wants a Peterbilt. And there you go, right there. 80-foot Peterbilt. What do you call that now? Is that the 389 or what? They changed it again?
I'm not sure which one that is. I think
that's a Randy question.
Yeah, again, that's a Randy question. Our day cabs and our sleepers are different wheelbase, so
yeah.
That's a top with an 80-foot truck package trailer.
80 foot. Everybody know what 80-foot truck package means? Joe, tell us what 80-foot truck package means. It means you can get a lot of trucks on. Go ahead.
80 foot is the overall length, nose to tail of the truck. With the new regulations in 2015, we were able to go from 75 to 80 feet. And then the truck package is the top and bottom rear. It's a little hard to see from this picture, but there's a sliding ramp on the tail. This is a control feature that allows you to cradle the decking over the top of the cab on the bottom, which allows you to stack a pickup truck over top of a pickup truck on the tail and get under legal height. So that's how we can stack two F-150s on top of each other on this picture.
And still under, what is it, 13.6? 13?
Yeah, that little higher than that because it's going somewhere that's a 14-foot state, but yeah, that's the point, is to get down to 13.6 if you need to.
So let me ask you this. I know I've seen it, but okay, if you guys are looking at this and you're on the very back end, there's two trucks, one on the bottom, the white one on the bottom, gray one on the top. The gray truck on the top, if I'm right, there's the ramps that you drive that truck on. You can pull them out, scoot them to the side, and you can drop that entire deck down where literally the deck is above the truck. Is that right, Joe? Did I say that right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool. So anybody interested in doing this, not only do you get amazing equipment, but you get amazing people. And you got a lot of work, which is really
scroll down a little bit more, Jay. I think I put a couple of other truck pictures on that front page.
Ooh, look at that.
Just just fun stuff. Things that we've taken over the years.
Look at the cab over, Jay. That's Randy Wills right there, guaranteed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What are those? The old Renault? Can't tell.
I think they are Renaults. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
there's a couple other pictures. If you float around on the page and bounce around the website, we've got all kind of pictures of our equipment and just odds and ends things that we do.
Oh wait, Jay, scroll back up. Slow down. Scroll back up right there. Hold on. Kia, Ford, Hyundai, Stellantis, Globus, GM. Did you know Globus bought an auction, Joe?
I heard that for the first time today on the news segment. I did not know that.
You knew they bought a transport. What is it, like 80% ownership in a transport company as well here in the States?
Yeah, they've had a car haul company that they were kind of a player with.
Buddies with.
Yeah. So that's not surprising.
Hey, well, this is way off topic. Sorry. I just have to say this, but Toyota, have you guys anybody following Toyota right now? No?
Not
That's okay.
I don't. I've been watching some of their sales reports recently because they're showing some declines, which is very uncharacteristic of them.
Yeah. Well, my opinion is because they're going against the EV grain. And I just said that out loud live. But that may not be the real answer because I live in tinfoil conspiracy land most of the time. Just kidding. No, yeah, go ahead.
You're somewhere on social media. I think people will be very interested in following you and getting some opinions because I'm listening for you. First time I meet you. I'm listening for you, and it's been very pleasant, to hear someone who's really in the industry, and you can share a lot of insights and thoughts. So.
Well, I keep telling him he needs to do more TikToks. No, I'm kidding. I want to see you dancing. Let's try that again. No, seriously, right? He should dance. But have you seen? I don't know if you've seen this. I know that sounds ridiculous. I'm just hearing it for the first time. But there are more car hauling TikToks than ever before now. There's a few out there. There's some brokers. I'm not following closely, but think of it this way. Daulet, what types of things could Ty talk about in 10 seconds on a TikTok that might, benefit?
Even sharing the news, like from the industry, or giving some opinion on some, the news feeds from his standpoint, from his knowledge and experience, which is going to be, for me, would be something.
That's a great idea. Like, did you hear that? Blah 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 blah. And then he does a dance.
Come on, Joe. You got it.
Amazing.
Well, so Joe, I'm just curious. You kind of mentioned a couple of things. 2023. You hope 2023 is better than 2022. So, I'm an optimist. I know you are as well. Just give us your 2023 forecast, if you would.
My 2023 forecast.
Joe Bercari.
And you can break this into quarters, halves, months.
These are all
dun dun dun, and you can sing Darth Vader songs.
Yeah. The Imperial March follows me wherever I go. The thing that I would say, I think that the business will remain as competitive as it is. I see rates and pricing probably becoming more favorable to the carriers in 2023 than they were in 2022. And I think that some of that is going to be because I think that capacity, while it remains constrained, those who tried to resist the market for the last year are going to at some point have no choice. So I think that pricing leverage is going to move in the favor of the carriers going into 2023.
Yeah.
I think that I do not say this because I wish ill of any carrier or any party, but I think that we are going to see a shift in the carrier landscape in 2023.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of overdue for a big correction.
Yeah.
And, 2022 and 2021, you saw that kind of with, the carriers that succumbed to the COVID situation. And so that it made some things, made a lot of carriers rethink their operations, rethink their overall strategies. And, there was some changing of hands of business. Some companies were big victors and some companies not so big victors as a result of it. I think you'll see a little bit something kind of like that in 2023. And that's not necessarily bad. Like, again, not to say that some carrier dies and that's the end of it. Although, certainly that could happen. We just talked a little bit about, debt earlier in the program. Although I don't see that happening with that particular carrier, but I think that, there will be some changes in decision-making in 2023 that, here's a way to look at this. And you kind of have to, you can't look at a 1 year thing and be like, oh yeah, these are all you kind of have to look at the last 4 or 5 years and see what the trends are leading to and what's the most likely outcome, in the next 12 months is the way that I would look at it. And, a lot of carriers have rethought the way that they do business. They have rethought what their core business needs to be, or what core business that they have that makes them the best possible return. And those decisions, it's like a gorilla in a kiddie pool. They sort of can't help but have ripple effects happen to everybody else in the ecosystem, to use Jay's favorite word. So I think that there is going to be a shift in the carrier landscape going into 2023. And I think that includes probably new OEM will be the single biggest impact, but that ripple effect will spill over into smaller independent carriers and such like that. I think that we are going to continue to see a substantial amount of impact from the brokerage companies. I just don't see them going away. The manufacturers have all indicated that they are going to move to a more transit-focused business model. That is an across-the-board feeling. They have said this in conferences, in news articles. They're all pointing in that direction. And for whatever reason, for good or for ill, they've decided that brokerage is going to fill in the gap that the fleets can't keep up with. I heard Daulet before say some discussion about being a dispatch versus a broker, and I'm going to kind of take that a step further and say a fleet versus a broker, a brokerage. There's a balancing act to be had here. If you're a brokerage, it does become very difficult to guarantee service, because in order for you to do so with no assets of your own, the only recourse you have is to throw money at the problem. And that doesn't always work. So I see that the companies that are able to be nimble with their fleet and brokerage models will be the most successful. And that's not just 2023, I think overall.
And I 100% agree with that. And I can add the point that I was getting my dispatching and brokering when I had one aha moment when I got the idea that if you can become a broker, right? I mean, big enough broker to get big jobs, then you have to have the fleet, right? But from my understanding, I mean, I don't want to have a fleet. I mean, that's a job that I don't want to deal with. But I can be a dispatching service for, let's say, a fleets, right? So that's pretty much you still kind of connecting the brokering part and the fleets with just by being dispatcher and a broker. And because I totally agree with you that, you cannot just guarantee the 100% job. If you're only the broker, you cannot take a big jobs. You can go smaller, you can go corporations or, personal POV cars. But holding something big and in a big amounts, it takes a fleet for sure.
Well, you have, so there's a space for that business model. It doesn't necessarily, you see what I'm saying? Like where service is less of a focus and volume is more of a focus, than fleets then brokerage can still be very effective, because they're bidding on mass quantities. They're not concerned about like, this one vehicle, that one vehicle, that one, into all these other places. That's where the fleet comes in. Having that allows you to service those areas, in-house, and it guarantees that you're able to support those needs. I think that the customers are leaning more towards a single sale type concept. Ford has had numerous discussions about this, about how, dealerships, we're going to go to this model, get on board or else, basically. And General Motors did something very, very similar with, they said Buick dealerships, you're going to be electrified, period. You will be electrified. Get ready for that. You don't like it?
Which is why we saw in the news last week, a third of Buick dealerships said, here's your dealership back.
Yeah. So there's
interesting.
A lot of very interesting things happening on the sales side of the house. And you have to pay attention to that on the service side, because we ultimately, our business supports that sales side, in one way or another. We're going to ultimately feel the impact of that sales side down the food chain.
And are we then, we're hearing like an OEM then is going with several large brokers to satisfy the transportation need. And in that case, as a large broker, is this a delicate balance where you don't want to bully around the fleets, because those are the companies that move.
Yeah, you can't. You need them.
How do you manage all that?
Oh, carefully.
Yeah. Are they all doing? How are they doing with that?
No comment.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's gotta be interesting. But it's some of these large brokerages that are really breaking major ground with these OEMs, fleet management companies, nationwide dealer rooftops. I mean, shoot, Ty, I think they bought half of the food that we ate.
Yeah,
at the
they did.
this
And
year.
they do.
Yeah.
But what? Go ahead. Somebody was getting ready to say something.
I was going to say the only comment that I would make is, and I'm pretty sure everybody here would probably support this. This is one of my favorite people in the world. Said this but she's 15 years ago now. How old am I? But that car haul companies need to be run by car haul people, and those people that are in this infrastructure, again, your word, Jay, that are in our ecosystem, people that are within our business that have cut their teeth on how this business works, live and thrive upon it, learn from it, and all that. Those are the people who tend to succeed, who see that bigger picture and understand how it's all going to come together.
Well, I think these big brokers are getting into the industry. Joe's right on cue here, because I mean, you take a good salesman, you walk into the office, these big decision makers say, hey, yeah, we can move your fleet for you, move your cars. But when you don't have the personnel to do it, you can talk the talk, but you can't walk the walk. But they won't be doing it long. I mean, all of you. You look at these car carriers you see going down the road, and I saw one today where the vehicles were touching one another. And it's just disappointing. If you look closely, when you see them going down the road, they're touching or they're bumping into one another, and so they're only going to be doing it for so long, and that's it. Because Joe's right, you've got to know what you're doing to keep the customer happy. And just one thing I want to add about the driver shortage. I don't think there is a driver shortage. If you look at the number of people who hold a CDL in this country, there's plenty of drivers with a CDL, but they get tired of being mistreated, as we talked about. But they talk about, making $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 a year. But yes, you make $100,000 a year. However, you're working 70 hours a week. Yeah. Break that down hourly, 70 hours a week, and you're not getting paid to sit. You're not getting paid to wait. You're waiting to get loaded or unloaded 4, 5, 6 hours, that kind of thing there. So there's a big turnover. People just don't do it.
Lloyd, I think there is a driver shortage, but I think that whatever that shortage is, its effect is tripled by that unscrupulous behavior that you're describing. I think the impact of it is substantially felt more because of that. And there could be a case to be made, and I think you're kind of saying this, that people come into the business and then 2 years later they leave the business because they're like, to hell with this crap, I'll go.
Well, being mistreated, yes, but here again, back to the culture, okay, good, reputable trucking companies, you look at TMC and Maverick, good, reputable companies, good culture, good equipment, everything. I know of a company out in Utah that their lowest truck driver on their roster is 27 years. What kind of a trucking company does it take to keep their people that long? Okay, it's extremely hard. I mean, almost impossible to get on with that company, but they have got such a reputation how they treat their drivers. That 27 years is their lowest man on the totem pole.
That's good. I don't know about anybody else here, but I really enjoy hearing, Daulet, the broker, dispatcher, Carlos out there running it, Lloyd, and Joe bringing it up with what he's seeing. And I think the beautiful thing for me in watching this is I'm sitting here just dumbfounded. Like, I'm learning from Joe, I'm learning from Carlos, I'm learning from Lloyd, Daulet. And where else do you find this? I mean, this is what I get excited about, because if you're going to get in this business, you need to really understand this isn't just fun and games, right? There's plenty of opportunity. And Joe said it, I've said it, Jay said, we've all said it. There's plenty of opportunity, but it's not a walk in the park, right? But because of you've got a community of people, there's this ability to navigate through these difficult things and to make a better life for you, your family, and anybody that wants to work for you if you decide to scale the business. So I always appreciate having you guys on and hearing your stories and what you're doing. And Jay, I really appreciate you putting this channel together.
Well,
thank you.
Man, thank you very much. And you put the show together. You put this group together tonight. I mean, I appreciate your help, show after show after show. And I appreciate everybody here taking the time to join us. And before the show started, I was thinking, what I really like is that we kind of know what we're getting into every Tuesday night.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, I have a question. Can I toss a hand?
Yeah.
This is for the carriers here, for everyone who's not me. What's everyone's viewpoint on the last, let's say, the most recent trends in insurance? And what does your insurance look like going into this year versus last year? Are you guys things change?
To be honest with you, I'm scared to death. I'm afraid it may put me out of business.
Oh.
And the insurance company, my daughter, she works for an insurance company. She sends the adjusters out to do claims. And the insurance companies are going to recoup their costs one way or another. They're not going broke. So if you look at all the pile-ups, the truck wrecks that we've had this winter season, but if you look at all these claims going on in the car industry, like I said earlier, you got car carrier marked on your authority. The insurance company knows you're hauling cars. And because of all these damaged vehicles and stuff, I'm scared to death. I'm shopping around right now trying to get ready for my renewal in February. And I'm not going to make any business decisions as far as equipment, drivers, anything like that, until I find out what my insurance is going to be come February.
Carlos, what about you?
Yeah, I don't renew till June or July, but I'm not looking forward to that either. My insurance is fairly low. When I tell people how much I pay a month, they be like, huh? Because I don't pay over $1,000 a month for my insurance.
Wow.
And I carry over $250,000 worth of cargo coverage also. I don't have a lot of, I'm a careful driver, so I don't get tickets and all that stuff. I don't get put out of service, none of that stuff. So, but it doesn't matter. Like the other gentleman just said, they're going to pass the cost off to us because their costs are getting higher. So this is going to make us feel the pain.
I
That's you.
that just blows me away. I mean, Carl, I hear that. How do you get insurance so cheap? And because I hear again, I've got good CVSA scores, nothing on my record. I'm clean, clean, clean. I will hunt down a DOT man to give me an inspection. Okay, I want that CVSA score. I want that sticker on my rigs. All right, yeah. But I'm $7,000 a month.
Yeah, but you got multiple trucks, right?
I got 3 trucks.
Yeah, I only have one.
That was still one truck and $1,000. How in the heck?
Under 1,000, yes. I've been driving CDL since 2002.
2002.
Is it the area? What is the deal?
No, I live in Charlotte.
What about on what? Yeah, but what about on big fleets, Joe?
Yeah, so things get more complicated when you add more trucks because your deductibles can change and that kind of thing. So it's not really apples to apples for me to say, oh, this is my cost per asset and all that other stuff. What I will say is that your loss runs matter a lot. And if anyone that's renewed insurance knows that the single most agonizingly long process of insurance renewal is going through the loss runs and, you know, explaining whatever's on there that the insurance company don't like. And sometimes they'll come up with stuff you're like, what are you looking at that for? Like, that doesn't even mean anything. But it's agonizing. And
yes, and I have 0 loss. I want to know what was the payout, you know, and I have zero payout, 0 loss. And yet here I'm still worried about an increase.
Yeah, we were praised by our carrier for our CSA scores and for we have a lot of safety programs. You know, we talked about culture before. That's a part of culture. Safety is a huge part of culture. You know, and so that we have a lot of those things going on, and we get constantly. They say, "Wow, you guys are really like, man, you're not just talking the talk, you're walking the walk," and all that, all those fancy little, like, you know, idiosyncrasies. And yet then they come back with the quote, and you're like, I thought we were talking the walk or whatever. You know, what walk are they going on? Because I'm over here. But anyway.
Yeah, because it's no fun. I've had 11 inspections in 1 year. I mean, there's only 12 months in a year. So how do you get 11 inspections?
Well, hey, listen, my hat's off to you. If your loss runs are looking that good, where your rates are like that, you must be doing something right. Keep doing it.
Yeah, and I also have freight on my insurance. Also, that lowered my insurance, believe it or not.
Right.
So I know a gentleman last year, he shut his trucks down because his insurance increased 300%. And so he said, nope, that's it, he's done. And there's another YouTuber, I don't know if you've seen him or not, but he had 17 trucks, made $1 million in 1 quarter, and he shut his whole business down.
Who was
TP.
That
was TP.
Was it?
Yep.
Oh, was TP. I thought he had other problems, though. It wasn't just...
Well, I think, you know, yeah, he had a lot of claims and stuff, but he said his insurance jumped up to $35,000 a month, and so he threw in the towel. And, but yeah, I think there was a lot of out of service and claims on his part, but still, I mean, like I said.
Yeah, but he was also using, I think we went through that. He was doing like rental trucks. I think he had other cost structures that weren't working out.
Yeah, absolutely. But still, $35,000 a month.
Yeah, no, that's that would make you sick, wouldn't it?
Here's someone here. He says he's making $1 million a quarter, but yet $35,000 a month to put him out of business.
He may make $1 million in revenue, but it's not what you make; it's what you keep.
That's right.
Exactly. We're getting back to that cost. What's it cost to do business?
Daulet, do you have that same problem or no?
I don't deal with insurance directly because I mean, I have clients of mine. My clients are carriers, right? So I mean, I know their rates, and I know for the last two of my clients, they had pretty good rates as well. I mean, Carlos was telling about, you know, lower than 1,000. It's kind of surprising for me, but one of the carriers, they have, I think, something around 1,200-1,300 for the last 3-4 years. They're pretty constant, but I'm sure this year it's going to be a little different with all this inflation for last year. You know, everything is getting increased in the price, so I'm sure it's going to be more expensive. I don't personally deal with that, but it kind of touches me, you know, because for me, it's very important that my clients has, you know, pretty good conditions and everything, including insurance as well.
As a dispatcher, you learn over time how important these factors are when you come back with loads that you're looking at. And then they start naming all the expenses, right? And you add that to your carrier profile. But it's interesting. It's not the same, staring at the abyss that Lloyd mentions, but it sure does affect the loads and the runs that you're trying to put together, because then you start to realize, oh, wow, okay. I'm not going to look at that anymore because I'm going to get the speech. The speech.
I will expand a little bit more. When I say my insurance, I'm covered up the yin yang. Like Carlos, when you were broke
right.
down, how many days you sat in that rest area when your motor went out? 4 days, 5 days?
A week.
A week. So,
yeah.
But I'm
it's not funny.
No, well, my insurance company.
Ty.
I'm insured to where, okay, yeah, they had to send a tow truck out to get me. My insurance covers that. They put me in a rental truck. It's all a part of my insurance policy. Rather, but just I don't want to have to sit and here again, because of doing business, being a small business, I got to get my customers' vehicles delivered.
Right.
So I'm insured up the yin yang, but yeah, it's still a big cost.
That's an insurance company, isn't it? Insurance up the yin yang. I've heard of them. I'm going to call them.
Yeah, but see, this is what's funny, and Joe probably backed me on it. All you guys will, I'm sure, but this is why I like ATI, because here's the reality of it. I think we're getting in 2023. My prediction is good luck finding an independent owner operator, right? That's the guy that, say, Daulet deals with, or it's a Carlos, it's a Lloyd, it's a Ty, it's a Jay. And so I'm sitting in these committee meetings, and I've said it 100 times. Everybody knows it. I'm like, you guys, they're worried about EV. How are we going to haul EVs? Remember that? Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, I think you have a bigger problem than worrying about how you're going to get an EV moved. Maybe on the OEM side, that might be a great conversation, but we're at an auction conference. These are used cars. If you think you have trouble getting your car picked up at a repo yard and delivered in 7 days, you ain't seen nothing yet. And I mean nothing for 2023. This is what I'm excited.
And everybody's like, boo!
They kicked me out. Just like they kicked me out of the transport parking lot. They're like, get out of here. But no, I think, you talk about insurance, you talk about fuel, you talk about knowing the industry, you talk about knowing your business, pricing, what's it cost you to run, all these things that are really important that we talk about on ATI on a regular basis. This, to me, is the differentiating factor right here for 2023. I mean, you're never going to get rid of that guy, but you are going to build a community of people that maybe don't completely understand, but they're connected enough to get the right answer, to get the right idea, to build a business that will last. That's what I'm after right there.
So again, it's funny you bring that up. A auto group the other day, they made the decision. They had to use a drive-away company to do a lot of their stuff as well. But their drive-away company and the auto group made the decision here 2 weeks ago that they will no longer do any drive-aways as far as the EVs. So he contacted me, Lloyd, will you be able to take care of our EV business as far as these used, like you say, trade-ins, that kind of thing there? Because the drive-away company is sick and tired of having to stop and get these things charged and deal with things like that. And so, okay, Lloyd, can you transport these EVs? Because our drive-away company says they're not going to do it anymore. And so it's an issue. You're right.
Yeah, the problems change, I think. When you go from combustion to EV, and I studied a lot about EVs and the transition in the new OEM space, and that's actually Jay's fault because he asked me to do a show on EV. So I kind of went down this rabbit hole, never really came out of it. But where I'm at right now, I think is that, and I stand by the statement that I made, it's been probably a year and a half ago now. The EVs are coming. They're going to be part of this equation somehow or another. They're going to be part of new car sales. Many people will not like it, and it won't matter because they'll be there anyways. But you're crazy not to try and capitalize on it. There's money made if you know what you're doing. if you you read the market and see what it's going to do. And, Lloyd, what you just said is a classic example of, here's a way for you to capitalize, fill some miles on your equipment or put together some shuttles or some kind of thing that somebody else, just doesn't want to do for whatever reason of risk. Well, now your capacity and your skills just became a whole lot more valuable. So to me, read the market, look at what it's telling you. And, if you're smart and if you're in the right places at the right time, you can make $1 at it. And there's nothing wrong with that. So
yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, guys, I don't know about anybody else, but I have thoroughly enjoyed every minute of this. Thank you. Thank you, Joe, Carlos, Lloyd, Daulet. Nice to meet you, by the way.
Thank you, Jay and Ty, all of you. I want to just, last thing here, I always call this a network here with ATI, what you guys do. I mentioned this back when Carlos broke down again. I just want to expand. Jay, Ty, all of you, anytime you have anybody in Arkansas, if they have a breakdown issue, they need help, I can be anywhere in the state of Arkansas in 3 hours. And so take my name, take my number. If you have a truck or a driver or anybody that needs help, needs assistance, call me. And then I'll do my damnedest to help you out any way I can. I know what it's like to be out there and be broke down. Like I said, Carlos, I felt really bad when you were sitting in that rest area, man. Not that if I was closer, I'd have come and got your trailer, and get you out of there. But
what's the best number to call you, Lloyd?
501-664-7465.
What was the last four again?
7465.
501-664-7465. Just created a new Trouble in Arkansas? Call Lloyd at River City Services.
I like helping my fellow man, and here again,
it's really nice.
Fellow car haulers, guys. But I
That's
appreciate
awesome.
everything you guys do.
That is super awesome. Well, and and we're still sympathetic to. You were live and got hit in the parking. It's funny that we're talking about parking in the industry news. Like parking is a real problem. Live. Lloyd.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
I'll let my insurance company deal with that now. So.
Well, there we go. It comes full circle, doesn't it?
Well, and that's
Joe.
The insurance company, they got the lawyers. Hey, our lawyers will take care of it, Joe. You don't worry about it. Well, good. I get something for my damn money I spend. Then.
That's what you're paying them for. You're
paying for lawyers.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's great. Carlos, good to see you, buddy. Jay and I talk about you all the time, man. We really appreciate you.
We do. We appreciate you very much. Thanks for the update. And
I give your number out more than I give my number out, Ty.
Yeah, give it out. Throw it out there, Carlos.
Yeah. What is it?
I don't know about her. I know it's in my phone.
Okay.
Oh, my phone number. Okay. I thought you were
Ty's
your
number.
phone number.
All right, here we go. This one's for Carlos. Call Ty at 417-483-2764. Got trouble in North Carolina? Just call or text Ty. He'll be right over.
Now, you call me in North Carolina if I'm available. I'll come get you. I had to go to my friend the other day from Savannah.
You may not have watched it. I know
Carlos.
I know Carlos saw this, but Christmas Eve, 10:14 p.m., I get a phone call, Joe. Some guy trying to figure out, he thinks I'm Ready Logistics. I answer my phone at 10:14 p.m. Christmas Eve. This guy's stressed out of his mind trying to get a hold of Ready Logistics. That really happened.
Wow.
But anyway, that's what happens
like
when
a
you put your phone
Hallmark
number out
movie.
there. Good move, Carlos. Don't do that.
Wow.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Okay. Good night.
And it's now time for more pheasant hunting.
Let's go pheasant hunting. Good job.
Pheasant hunting.
Happy New Year.
We'll see you
2023.
Barbecue.
Yeah, Monday. Barbecue.
Yeah.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
Cool. Thank you all so very much. We really do appreciate it. Another round of applause for all of our guests. Thanks, Daulet, Carlos, Lloyd, Joe. Thank you very much.
Good night, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night. All right, cool. This has been Auto Logistics. What is it? Unfiltered. Yes, Auto Logistics Unfiltered. And let's go ahead. I'll just officially end it. Thanks, guys, so much. Let them go. Thanks for jumping in the live chat. Thank you so much again to all of our participation tonight. We didn't have any live calls. Doesn't bother me any. That's why I was, trying to put a show together. If you rely, listen, I learned this a long time ago. I mean, decades ago. If you rely on random, hey man, this applies to car hauling business. If you rely on random is what you'll get. So you've got to plan things, right? I plan the shows. You need to plan, plan your loads, plan who you think you're working for. All right, I'm not going to get too preachy on it, but you see what I'm saying. Hey, Jacob, thanks very much. Thanks for all the participation in the live chat. Everybody, Randy and Jay and Kevin and, man, on it goes. There was a lot of participation. Chris Chamberlain, Kevin Parada, Super Dispatch got in there, and Ron was in there earlier, and so was John Larrick, and meanwhile, Keenan Allen was blowing up the likes on LinkedIn, and so no matter where you are on social media, we're on the channel's on YouTube. And then we do a lot of social media on LinkedIn. We also do a little bit of, Facebook. We do some of that. Instagram, Twitter, email, text. Not so much faxing anymore. But, dealers, carriers, brokers, dispatchers, drivers, owners, tech companies. Everybody's welcome on ATI. And really do appreciate the participation. If you got an idea for a show, feel free to send me an email. Send in the news. Send me an article, send me a photo of a truck, and yeah, you're right, Chris. Let's get that equipment show together. That's a great idea. Yep, we're back in the swing of things, so we got some more shows lined up. Next Tuesday night is Get Nexar. Learn more about Nexar. We're talking about camera, software, and more. So if you're looking for a good digital camera solution to keep an eye on things, you're going to want to watch next Tuesday's show, Get Nexar. Let's see. We've also got, NADA Energy is coming up because NADA show is coming up. And then we already got some shows filling in February. So, Chris, let me know on that equipment show idea, who should be on the show and what equipment, who should we talk to? What should we talk about? Try to help me put together that show. That'd be great. We should have a meeting with, we should set up let's see, Ty, Chris, Jay. We need to get Ben Booth in there. If you're interested in participating in the equipment show or another show, let me know. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. And again, thank you to Rapid Recon, Superflow Systems, McCollister's Transportation Group, Ship Your Car Now, and obviously to the super chats in here tonight with Superflow Systems, NYC Traffic Inc., Kevin Parada, Chris Chamberlain. Thank you all so very much for your help and participation in this channel. We got a lot of great stuff to do this year, so we do need your help. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And that's it. We'll see you next Tuesday night. Don't forget to join us on Thursday Dispatching Live. If you think this show's fun, tune in at noon Central Time on Thursday. And a little birdie told me that Central Dispatch might be listening, which is cool. That's awesome. So do you want to tell Central Dispatch something about the load board, about the rating system, or I don't know, let them know. Join us on Thursdays. Put it in the live chat. They might get the message. And then Friday, Bob Grill of Carfax with his podcast, Just the Facts. He's going to join us on Cars on the Move. Thank you all so much. Have a good night. Stay safe. Stay warm. Oh, it's getting warmer. That's nice. So let us know. But let us know if there's something we need to know to tell everybody else in the industry. Send in the news. Thank you so much. Here comes the car hauler. I'm Jay. I'll see you soon. Thanks.